I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Hope all of you having a delightful day so far.
The penultimate day of your week.
It's not as scorchy, hot feeling this morning yet.
Yeah, I think that the little bit of humidity we've had over the last 24 hours or so just kind of cooled it off a little bit.
Yeah, it's feeling. And did you get any rain yesterday?
I got the weirdest 10 seconds of rain in my entire life. I was driving down, I want to say Alameda, and I went through a sheet of rain. It was it hit my car and my window was just covered in rain.
Yeah.
And then nothing. It was just enough rain to where I had to run my sprayer on my windshield wipers to get the dirt cleared off.
Right.
It was just enough to mud up the dirt that was on my windshield.
Get the dirt speckles all over the car. Yeah.
It made dust mud.
Yeah, I don't even know if I saw any. We left here, was about 4 or whatever, and then I was like, yeah, kind of ominous out dark. It's like, oh, maybe. And I got to the house, and I got home, and I started hearing in the distance thunder, ooh, that was over the house thunder, but I don't think it ever rained.
And that's what threw me off was I was like, okay, we have a slight chance for rain. And then that loud rumble of thunder, I'm like, okay, all right, Mother Nature, you're not messing around.
But I think I went to the back, and then I came back 10 minutes later, I'm like, hey, it's sunny out again. I was like, well, all right, guess that's over with. Yeah. But we'll get you update the weather. We do have a rain chance today and tonight, and of course the weekend. We got really good chances of rain. So we'll get you all up to date on that here in just a few. Here's what we have on tap for today's show. We're going to replay our interview with Elliot Rodriguez from CMG Financial this hour. If you're interested in buying homes or selling homes, really more buying. He's the guy that helps get folks financed. He loves working with first-time buyers and so forth. But him and his new assistant joined us the other day, so we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. Keep your financial hat on, because after you got your house, now we're going to talk to the guy who can keep on going with you after that point.
All right.
Damon Graham from New York Life is going to join us for his monthly visit, and he always comes by and we just talk just life and family and thinking about the future and how he can help you do that. So that's going to be in the 8 o'clock hour. In the 9 o'clock hour, we may, but I'm doubtful, we may have a Talk Humane Society, but if that doesn't happen, we're going to replay our interview with Amanda Ware from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. She joined us yesterday and had a great she kind of I like this. I think we're gonna do some more of this. She brought some of the littles that are waiting for a big right now.
Right. Some profile.
Kind of this is so and so. They like to their favorite activities are playing in the mud and going out. So we spotlighted a few of our littles that are looking. And I'm telling you, I was listening to their interest. I'm like, oh yeah, there's at least 20,000 guys and girls that would be way into what these kids are into. So definitely take a listen to that in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your hourly features that include the news and whatnot both the national and the local variety. We'll have all the other features and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's what we got on tap here. I know we have Artesia still fighting in baseball, softball playoffs. We're going to have softball on our sister station, 9:90 a.m. I believe beginning about 9 for softball.
I think it starts at 9.
And then
maybe 10. I'm not
and
really
then
sure.
and that'll be on the video as well because it's here. And then they're going to join in progress the Artesia baseball game from Albuquerque as they are squaring off against St. Pius, I believe.
And that one's the audio only. For that one, correct?
I believe that's audio. Yeah, that's audio only
Okay.
because Scott Galecki is going to be calling that game up in Albuquerque for us, and so yeah, he's just going to have radio availabilities for us. But that'll join in progress. So probably about 10:30 or so, we'll tune in, depending on how softball usually goes pretty quick compared to baseball. They don't softball. They don't let you mess around like in baseball. Pitcher gets to scratch and, look and throw back to first base 20 times. And it kind of, softball, they're like, no, I think they put them on pitch counts like, you got X amount of,
Here's the thing. You ever seen how they pitch in softball? You're gonna blow out a shoulder like that. You gotta get what you're gonna get in pretty quick.
Yeah. Although
keep it warmed up,
there's a difference between softball pitchers can pitch back-to-back games where baseball pitchers cannot.
There's a lot less impact with the way they do it, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more of a thing where you got to keep your shoulder warmed up.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it kind of works in such. Let's keep it going. We don't want to cool down because as soon as you cool down, shoulder starts getting cooled off. You're not pitching to the best of your ability.
I think guys are just too busy watching the pros, and they want to emulate them, so they do what all the pros do. So they
Kill
kind
some
of
time, stop it,
scratch and
yeah.
touch your hat a certain way, whatever.
Of course,
it
you're
is.
really allowed to do a lot of that post-pandemic, I'd imagine, right? Like you can't really spit.
I would think not, but I don't know.
And that's something I've
never addressed this issue in COVID.
Spitting has completely gone. It's like extinct. I never see anybody spit anymore.
Follow me around. I talk a good loogie every once in a while if I need to.
I'll have to get the film crew on that. Film crew, could you?
Hey, if I got to get it out, I'm in a Perry. If I got to get it out, I'm going to get out.
There's two of them now, so we've technically got a film crew.
2 live crew.
That's right.
All right, it is 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. We better get some weather and all that, get our interview going here. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it's titillating, this weather. It's hot, but there's rain coming, and you're like, ooh.
It's going to be hot and muggy.
She's showing off for you a little bit this week. Here you go. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Do Right Roofing. For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 623-2273. That's 623-2273.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds at the moment are out of the south at 5 miles per hour. As Steve mentioned there, we do have a 20% chance at some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. They're talking mainly after 4 o'clock today. Mostly sunny and hot. Highs right around 100. I know they were saying 103, but now they're saying like 98, 99. So, enjoy that bit of a dip. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers as well, partly cloudy. Overnight low of 72 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Friday, sunny, hot, 103 for the high tomorrow with south winds 5 to 10. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 71. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, highs right around 94. Winds will be a bit breezy out of the northwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Saturday night, our chance of rain bumps up to 50%, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 67. Sunday, a 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 82. 62. Sunday night, a 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64. And Monday, when you head back to work, a 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of only 78 on Monday. Boy, howdy. I don't know what to do with that here in June. But there we go. So a little warm, but cooler temps on the way. Enjoy. All right, it is 7:15. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, we're going to play our interview we had on Tuesday with Elliot Rodriguez from CMG Financial. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Are you looking for a new church home? Tabernacle Baptist Church in Roswell personally invites you to any one of their 4 services, with 3 on Sunday and 1 on Wednesday. Services are Sunday at 10 and 11 in the morning and 6 in the evening. On Wednesday evening, service is at 7. Tabernacle Baptist Church is across from DeBrenham Stadium in Roswell. The family at Tabernacle Baptist Church would love to have your family join them as they celebrate God. Come and grow together.
Want to make this Father's Day a little cooler? Every Saturday in June, Richland is giving away a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind American flag cooler. Yup, a brand new cooler every Saturday. Just head for either Richland Chevy on West 2nd or Richland Dodge at the Y and register. That's it. No purchase necessary. Just drop in and sign up. Richland wants to celebrate dads all month long, and the coolest way to say
thanks, Daddy,
is with a brand new cooler. So stop in and sign up for a cool way to say
Happy Father's Day
from Richland Motors. Ride for the brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico, Amanda Ware back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. How's summer been so far for you? Joining us in studio this morning from CMG Financial, Elliot Rodriguez back with us, and also with Elliot this morning. Joining us in studio this morning from CMG Financial, Elliot Rodriguez back with us, and also with Elliot this morning. His assistant, I guess, would be the proper term here. Alejandra. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Garcia joining us this morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
All right. Good morning, Roswell.
All right. So he did talk you up last time. I remember last time.
I think I
Elliot, yeah. Get a little close to that so I can hear you a little better. But yeah, when last time we were here, Elliot was kind of saying, he said, man, I don't have to do anything now. I got this assistant does all the work. I just kick back with my feet up and don't do a thing.
I wish it was quite like that, wasn't it? That'd be so awesome, for real.
I mean, that sounds good.
That's the idea. That's the idea eventually, right?
Very good. For folks that do not know, Elliot joins us once a month here, and Elliot is he's not the guy that picks out the house. He's the guy that helps you afford the house, and that's what he does. And we say it every time. Elliot's kind of niche jam, his groove is really working with first-time home buyers and folks that come in with either the notion that they don't think they can afford this, or they just they're like, all right, I know there's a bunch of hurdles, and regardless of where you're at, whether you're right there or you're a million miles, yep. He'll get you there. That's what he'll give you. So even if and that's way different than what a lot of lenders and folks in your business do. That's different is they say, oh, the numbers don't jive. Good luck to you.
See you later.
See you later.
Pretty much.
Elliot's kind of like, all right, yeah, we're not there yet, but give me 6 months or give me and do this, and this, and then talk to me in a couple months here, and I guarantee we're going to be in that window where we can put you in a house or something like that.
She actually is one of my success stories.
So you went from a disciple to now of the apostles that go out and spread the word.
Definitely. I always tell him, like, it's amazing what he does. Like, I feel like a lot of people are not as educated. They actually think that buying a home is like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work, yes.
It's a lot of minutia, but really, when you cut through all that,
it's not impossible.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah, and Elliot with them by them side, oh my God, it's totally possible.
And that's where he's the Sherpa that guides you through all the red tape and all that mess. So you just like, all right, what do I got to do here? And so because when it's like anything else, you look at like a whole job from afar, it looks like a Herculean task. But then you start picking apart the pieces, and you're like, all right, this is how we navigate through it. And home ownership's not a whole lot different. It's
I remember you always tell me, hey, bring somebody here, bring one of your stories. So I'll double down today.
You double down. You got a success story and an employee.
So I know Alejandra for a while.
Sure.
Okay, and we used to work together back in Wells.
Okay.
And she came and approached me one day. She's like, I want to buy a house, and I haven't got everything in place yet. I mean, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started talking. I said, well, you do this, and that. And, she actually followed my steps. Took a little doing, but it didn't take too long either.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But
that's just it. It's not as big. Like, it's really, like, if your credit score is abysmal, a few simple things can boost that up very quickly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's kind of... I don't know if this is a good comparison. If it's not, throw me out the window on this one. But it's kind of like when folks that are, and I've been there too. I know it when you get really obese and you're like 30, 50 pounds over, way. And then that first week you really diet and you drop like 1,000 pounds real quick. And then you got to kind of work a little harder to get. I mean, in credit's kind of like that. Sometimes you could just, hey, if I just switch my payment time and pay this here, guess what? That's going to knock me up a couple points right there.
And that's
so a few little just things that you would have never thought would have impacted your credit score that much. You change that, and all of a sudden your points go up 20 points. And you're like, oh, what happened there? That was awesome. And that's where Elliot will kind of, that's his jam. That's where he gets in there.
Now she gets to see both sides of the quarter.
Okay.
Okay. So she got the experience of being a bar. Okay. And she bought a house.
All right.
She followed all my steps. And trust me, there were one time here and there that she made like, well, how can we had to do that and that. And she learned through the process. And then she also was working at a bank, so she even learned even more stuff.
Learned some of the sides of that too.
So I thought she was a very perfect, fit for me as far as like getting an assistant to be there for me. Plus, she's also bilingual. Okay, for all those folks.
Are you bilingual? I can't remember.
I am. I try to be.
Okay.
Just kidding. Yeah, I am.
Okay. I didn't know if because there's and I'm not even qualified there. It's like, no, I'm not bilingual, but I can pick up a couple words to get the gist of what you got going on there. You know what I'm saying?
For all those folks out there that are listening, if you are a little shy because you don't speak a lot of English or whatever, no big deal. I mean, my assistant helps me.
And obviously, because let's face it, like we said at the beginning, it's a very intimidating process.
It really is.
And then if English isn't your first language, that's double intimidating. So now, either one of you can sit down and speak in what you're comfortable with and at least peel that layer back of intimidation out.
And she's awesome with people. And that's another reason, that I say, I need to get somebody that can match me as far as customer service and taking care of the people that come and see us.
Sure.
And having the right people, having the right company, that's definitely a good fit.
Sure.
And that's the main reason, Plus, I've been on my lonesome for a few, so it's like, I need some help.
Well, I feel like customer service goes a long way. It's super important.
Sure. Well, that's the key.
People have to open up to you to be able to help them.
Yes.
And if they don't open up, you can't help them. So it's not just, I feel like, just a buying process. It's not just a transaction. It's educating them as well.
Yes.
So they can tell somebody else. And
it's a life lesson.
And they can tell their kids and, hey, it's not impossible to make your dream come true.
Well, and I mean, you're right. That's
I didn't even have to tell her to say all that.
See?
Yeah, definitely. Because, my dream was I wanted this house, and I was like, tell me what I need to do to make it possible.
Give me the steps. And
he did. He helped me. He guided me. And I think that's awesome. Because not a lot of lenders do that.
Well, and really, that's probably the success for so many people, because if you're talking in concepts and things, everyone's like, well, yeah, it's just
all these
like
acronyms that throw at you.
But even just in philosophy, you're like, well, I need to get in better shape. Well, we know what we got to do there, don't we? There's all kinds of, pills or take the shortcut.
Somebody must have been telling him something about this.
Take the, you know, I mean, but at the end of the day, you gotta put the right things in and do the right things, and home and credit's no different. Yeah, there's things, but it's making smart decisions. Knowing sometimes when it's okay to make that big purchase, when you say, you know what, maybe I ought to wait till this, and this happens first, and that's family budget, man. That's how, when you get. I'm hoping when couples are married and together and they're planning their budgets and their families and things like that, in the conversation, it's like, yeah, okay. This is the end game, but and that's housing too, because you don't
to
move.
Budget,
and we talked about this in the past. You don't move into your dream house at 22. I mean, very rarely, unless you hit the lottery or something.
Unless
Most
you're
of us,
lucky.
you build to that. You get that first starter home, and it's not maybe all right. I had to put a little sweat equity into this one to get it to where I like it, but that's your foot in the door. That's now you're building off that, and next thing you know, you're like, okay, I bought this house. Let's say. I'm just going to throw random numbers out. Oh, I just paid $60,000 for this fixer-upper. I just, put another $10,000 in some work on it. Now I got a great little house, and I live in it for a couple of years, and I turn around and sell it for $90,000. And and next thing you know, now you've got that equity plus whatever you paid on that, and now that house you bought for $60,000, now you're like, oh, now I can afford a $110,000 house.
Yeah,
and then you kind
move
of
up in the chain.
You do.
And then at some point, you're going to either get pinnacle, and when you have, all right, now we got 37 kids and need the 4-bedroom, and then you're going to raise them and shoot them on into the world, and then you're going to go back down again, and you're going to be like, nah, it's too much house. I want that apartment. And then you're going to be like me and want to live in a condo where everyone takes care of everybody. It's like, here's $100, mow my lawn. I
don't want to do anything.
And that's there's the circle of life with the housing in a nutshell.
The thing is, and you and I spoke about this before. The thing is sometimes you may not fit on the box, so it's time to open that box, take a few things out of that box, push it back in the box, and now you fit in that box.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of like, no, I cannot buy a house. It's how soon and when can I really buy a house? Sure. Okay. And that's what we do, and we try to help everybody. Okay. So nobody left behind here. We do everything to take care of everybody else.
And I would even say if maybe the finances, like your credit and stuff's good, but you're looking at it like, well, I don't want the responsibilities of being a homeowner. I don't know how to take care of, hey, when I'm a renter now, my wash machine breaks. I'm like, dude, fix my wash machine. You're the homeowner, dude is you. And you're intimidated by that. But you know what? There's lots of ways to even navigate. I mean, that's not Elliot's wheelhouse. I mean, he flips houses, so he might, if you buy him a beer or something, he might give you some tips there. But that's not part of his day job. But what I'm saying is, you learn that as you go. You'll pick that up. And to be honest, when you buy houses now, almost all of them come with like home warranties and things. So when a lot of those and if you don't come with one, you can get them for relatively cheap. It's far worth the price of what, because I know I have one. I've replaced my roof. I've replaced my air conditioner. And all of that cost me pennies compared to what it would have been without using those home warranty things. So learn that
and it
kind of
comes
stuff.
back to the educating part of it.
Exactly.
It's not as
You
scary.
learn that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're kind of thinking, I'm ready to buy the house, but what happens when my stove breaks? Don't worry.
You better save some money and have some warranty.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that we ask for reserves. I think a lot of people are like, well, why do I have to have all this money in the bank? Why do you need, all these months' bank statements? Well, we want to make sure you're stable.
Sure.
You're able to.
And let's face it, when you're buying a home, a company is taking a gamble on you. That's at the end. I mean,
and that's
safe risks.
And that's 100% fact.
And at the end of the day, every company on the planet that's willing to give you $100,000 or $50,000 or $200,000, whatever that number is, they're going to want some kind of just proof that you're in it for the game too, and you're not going to get the house and stiff them on this sucker. So that's why when escrow they want certain amounts or down payments and each situation's different based on the type of loan. I mean, if you're a veteran and you're not taking advantage of VA loans, you're crazy.
Especially right now. The rates are still low.
Yeah, okay? I mean, and a lot of those, depending on the type of loan you go for, and that some is you put zero money down. And that's a huge thing because generally, what is it, about about 10% is what they say. Is,
well, it depends on the program.
Gotcha.
It depends on
We can go from anywhere from 3% down to 3.5% to 5%, 10%, whatever the individual can do.
Okay.
And the program that they qualify for, then
Sure.
we can do that. And like we spoke before, it's not about just buying a house; it's pushing a better place.
Gotcha.
And I don't want you to buy a house and in 6 months to a year you lose your house.
Yeah, you don't want to spread yourself too thin that you can't enjoy this cool house you just got.
Now, if you want to push the envelope and you want to push the limits a little, I will advise you and I would, warn you that like maybe you don't need to go that far.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, they're still the boss. They still decide what they're going to do.
And that was my advice he gave me.
Sure.
He was like, you don't have to go as high as you qualified. You can go in. We obviously did go lower because I was like, it was scary.
Well, and his
to get in that much debt, but
and this is why, and we'll never talk specifics on the radio about numbers because, and well, A, it's illegal, but B, it just wouldn't make sense to because when Elliot walks in to buy a house, or when Alejandro, or when I walk in to buy a house, we're going to get 3 different stories from the people.
It's
And it's not always your financial situation too. That's factors into it, but it's also your goals. What's your end game? Elliot may want the house and 4 bedrooms and the 2 kids. Alejandro be like, no, I want to live a trailer and ride the world, man. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Time to take off.
People's goals are different, and you're going to build your financial plan and involving your home in one way.
Correct.
Maybe you're like, you know what? We have a home, so we have a home to go to, but we're retiring now. We're going to be hitting the road. So you know what? You don't need a big old house. Probably buy a little house that's got a big spot for an RV. That's, that's
everybody's goals
everything's
are different.
different.
Everything's different.
I personally have kids, so my thing was they're going to go college. Whatever sports they're in. Like I have to have extra money, extra room, to breathe because you never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
Jump off a tree and then I'm in debt.
And that's what and to be honest, that's where you guys come in and that's where that gets lost in the big conglomerate companies and things where you're just a number and face and with you guys and through CMG Financial you get the best of both worlds. CMG Financial is a very stable private company that they ain't going nowhere. They've got all the big boy ins just like all the others do. But because they're a private company, they don't answer to stockholders. They get to make decisions based on what's best for their people and their company, not what the stockholders think on it, which in the financial world, trust me, is a huge difference on the direction on how decisions are made and how. And then with the boots on the ground, with you guys and Ted here right in town, they can pick up a phone call, not go through a gauntlet of press ones or enter this card number followed by £. Do your verification for security purposes. Say I am this guy. Whatever fancy spiel they've got to get you to get through the gauntlet.
Like the bank stuff.
To get you to the gauntlet of to their mess.
The whole process.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and things are changing.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to do, and you and I spoke about everybody wants to do everything super quick. Okay? I mean, we do everything fast, too. But, all right?
You do it right before you do it fast.
Let's do it right. Because you know how many people come, there's two outcomes. There's people that comes that tell me, they approve me in 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Okay? I say, oh, cool, I can do the same thing. But the moment that we do have a true interview, then I know truly what I can truly do for you.
Sure.
And that's the problem. A lot of people like to call those 800 numbers, okay, and do stuff online, and they forget that it's what you input in the system. So they may not get in the whole true picture.
Sure.
Okay, and that's a problem because if you may be approved for a house of $250,000, maybe you weren't. Okay, all right, and that's another thing that could be an issue in the loan holes and the whole entire transaction because that would totally be a bad. And you and I talked about this before. A week before or the day before the transaction, that hey, sorry, you're not approved.
Yeah.
Right? I don't see how any transaction can go that far, and unless the customer do something really that they shouldn't have never done.
Sure.
It shouldn't never happen, okay?
But odds are probably be pretty good is when those kind of things fall through the cracks till the last minute, it's because they went through some cookie cutter program that was kind of set up to base a bunch of people
not enough
on
communication, nothing, everybody putting everything in place correctly. I mean, she's listening to me, some of the stuff that I'm doing. I mean, I get trumps and curves. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like, I just, we just put it, and I'm going to tell you right now, this week has been interesting, to say the least. And it's only Tuesday. Yeah. Right? And I'm sitting in front of my computer, and I'm taking care of stuff. And I have two individuals in front of me, and one tells me, and I just changed my job. I just quit my job. It's like, whoa.
Maybe this is not the time to be thinking about buying a new house.
You couldn't hold on a little longer to make sure you buy a house. Thank God that the numbers still work after the fact. Okay. So I know.
Was he in the middle of the process when he said he quit the job, or was he starting out and then said, "No, I want it"?
This is worse. They went ahead and you and I talked about this, about getting approved 100%. Before you make an offer on a home.
Yeah, it really sets you up for success if you don't do it that way.
I mean,
that didn't
some
happen.
people don't think like that.
Some people don't tend to think like that. I mean, remember we used to say that you think I make magic. I got my little magical wand to make it happen.
Yeah, he's good, but not that good.
I think you actually do.
Sometimes you tell me that I do, but the thing is this, and I had to scramble and make sure that everything is now good.
But fortunately, the planets aligned, and the numbers were able to work despite.
Or should I say that Elliot decided to take his time to make it work?
And he does. He actually takes the extra time and work to make sure that it
happens.
And that's the difference, because, like you said, if you're going to one of these,
with another lender, it's like, you did what? Okay, see you later.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
It's like, all right, this file going right into this shredder. See you later.
I have another one that this is the week. I'm telling you, like I say, it's only Tuesday. So I only can wait.
maybe it's building up all week, and it's going to smooth out the rest of the week.
So then I have another one. Listen, this is awesome. Got him pre-approved. We've been waiting for a long time. They keep choosing the wrong houses, so it never happens. All right. They chose another place that it took forever. It was a repo, a bank, a short sale kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Those can be a nightmare.
Sure.
Okay? All right. I'm not saying you don't go for it. I'm just saying let's try and
be prepared. There's going to be more hoops to jump through than a typical deal on this.
So we've been waiting forever for the whole entire process, and having pre-approved and everything. It's all good. And then we're waiting for the bank to say, sure, we're going to take your offer. We're going to get move forward. So the agent called me like, we're good. All right, let's do this thing. I'll talk to her and make sure that she gives you everything, because it's been a little spilled.
Right.
I need to update a few things.
Sure, make sure the numbers are still where they're at.
So the whole process goes real well, and I say, okay, we need this, and that, and she said, sure, no problem, I'll get that to you, Elliot. I just want to let you know, I don't know if this is going to be a problem. You have to love this.
That's when everything goes, the needle scratch on the record goes, I hope this is not going to be a problem.
I just wanted to let you know, my spouse, have a little issue with his boss, and there's some issues the boss is doing bad. The boss was actually doing bad to the employee.
Okay.
But I almost say, like, you couldn't hold on another. I mean, you've probably been holding on for months. You couldn't hold on another month.
Right. And then you can.
So you tell me, like, he quit or he got fired. I don't know truly the whole facts on that one. And I said,
the relationship ended.
The relationship is done. There's no more love, and it's funny because I'm like, I took a pause for just a second, and she kind of, hello, Ellie, you still there? I'm like, no, yes, I am here. And she goes, but he has another job. Okay, good. And she's saying that it's going to pay him, I don't know, 50 cents more.
Okay, so it's a job
So I guess it's like, that's a good thing. But the problem is this. The job is not there just yet. It's next month on the 2nd. It's like, wait a minute, we have an I guess we're taking a break on the show. Okay, we could take an intermediate.
I'm about to say, I was like, when they want the money
I'm gonna make it work, but that is a very bad thing to happen.
Sure.
If you're buying a house, to everybody that's out there listening, if you're buying a house and you hate your boss to the gods, okay, like down deep into like, I'm sorry, I cannot take it anymore. You're buying a house, endure it, okay?
Yeah.
If you find another job that's going to pay you the same or more, then you could do the change later.
And that's going to be on you, the individual.
Yeah, that's your choice.
If you're kind of saying, you know what, I'm not happy in this work environment, I need to, okay, great. Take care of that priority first before you do the priority of buying the house. Because and this is true, and I don't care if your credit is perfect or 2. This still applies. The home owning process, when you start it, you need to keep everything the same as possible here. When you start new jobs, you can do something as stupidly simple as buying a new phone at the AT&T or Verizon store.
Yeah, that can happen.
And that could ruin your
or going
application.
to a store and they're like, well, I got a credit card because it's going to give me 5% off my purchase.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's just it. Anything you start diddling with your credit.
Why?
Anytime you're diddling with your credit, adding, subtracting, or anything in that window, it's going to throw a whole loop in that process, even if it's for the better sometimes. And that's the part you're like, dude, I paid off the card and did it. It says a better thing. I know, but now they got to rework the numbers. So hold on.
And that is so true.
That's good that you say that.
I was telling my borrowers, like, please don't do nothing unless you tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to please tell me. You know, and we do first time home buying classes. We haven't done one since the COVID-19, nonsense. I had to call it nonsense because I don't even have no way to explain it.
At this point, it feels very much that way, doesn't it?
But anyway, I mean, I know there's some reality into the situation, of course.
Sure.
Because we know that we know people that have died and all kinds of stuff.
It's a balance. Protect what you got to do. Still got to do business.
Still got to do business.
You got to find the happy medium.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't just shut down the world, stick your head in the sand, and say, "We'll be fine in a year, no problem."
Exactly.
Ain't gonna happen, dude.
So on our class that we do for first time home buyers, which hopefully we're going to be doing some, pretty soon.
Sure.
On the 1st of July, we are free.
It's a new fiscal year, right?
It's a free, non.
In the financial world, June 30th is New Year's Eve.
Exactly. So we do the classes, and one of the topics that we talk in the class is you need to inform your lender at all times. Everything that's happening, everything that's changing.
Sure.
As little as how much money you put in the bank, if you decide to put some cash in the bank, which we advise not to. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But
Now we're not talking every day like, hey, we're going to order pizza.
No,
that's fine. But if you just said, ooh, like here's an example that probably screws a lot of people. Is they're like, ooh, I got the new house, and then they go to the furniture store and spend $2,000 or $5,000 and putting some new furniture for the new house. It's like, that's wonderful. Wait till you've already signed the closing documents on the house.
Crazy.
Then you can go to that furniture store and have your Shangri-La.
You know how many times I get a phone call and say, Elliot, I did this. Like, would I tell you not to?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, but they just give me such a good deal. It's like, and now I have to rewrite the numbers and everything. I've been very blessed that I either find the angle of making everything work, or either that I always try to have a little room. But me and Ted lately has been talking. It's like, Elliot, you guys are pushing the limits. It's like, dude, it's not me. Okay? I mean,
it's just the world.
It's the world. People are pushing the limits because we want to get those debt to income ratios a little lower. Okay, we don't want them to be maxed out. That something that you were not expecting take place, and now nothing works. I had. I think I told you about this one. The deal that I had, a deal that went dead because of a credit card for $10. Okay?
Oh wow! I don't think you did share this one.
This is crazy. I mean, we were in the limits that we don't have no exceptions. Okay, we actually wrote the exceptions we needed.
You were on that razor thin. Burn one way or another, it's going to bubble this.
And it was because of $10. The guy didn't pay the $10. He had to. You have to be careful with those Amazon, accounts. Because sometimes you have more than one, and you don't even know you have two.
Sure.
Okay. So he didn't pay $10, so we would run an exception, and we were gonna be okay. He ended up thinking that he had one, and he actually had two. The renewal of the annual fee and everything came through, and that was $100. So here, when it's going to underwriting for final, when we are ready to go, that came out that he didn't pay that. There was no more exception, and it was one of those government programs that they're so tight,
right?
Okay, that I mean, I don't care if you put oil, butter, or whatever, it's not going to slide out.
It's one of those things where they're giving you and I get it. Like they're giving you a chance to rebuild your credit, but
you can't do no more negative.
This is like I don't know if the Scared Straight program be appropriate there, but it's kind of that. Look, you're on the straight and narrow. We're not going to let you. You turn that head, we're booting you. It's like, don't look at that flower. It's one of those. You're on the straight and narrow.
No, and I felt so bad for him at that moment, but at the same time, I don't tell my customers what to do. I advise you.
At the end of the day, it's your decision.
It's your decision.
You're the adult.
In this particular situation, I really was hoping that he choose a different house, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay? But again, it's not my call. Everything worked out to a point that happened in the end, so he lost the opportunity to get that one.
Sure.
But I don't give up on people. Okay.
No.
And I try to help them. So guess what? We only waited 2 months. We worked a few things out. He was able to buy a better house.
Sure.
Okay.
And
that's the part that I love for what I do.
And that's the lesson that I think all of us need to learn. There's I know, and even in the markets get volatile and crazy and all this stuff. There's always going to be more houses.
There's always going to be another house. I always tell my customers.
There's always going to be more. If that dream home is the dream home because that's the one you saw first. I guarantee you keep looking, you're going to find another home.
She had B, A, and C choices. I mean, I love the way she did it. No, she did. She really did. I remember.
So I know people like, but that's the one that's got the closet that I want, and it's like,
what
I get you. I get you. But if you wait a bit and you go this direction, you can buy 12 of those closets in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And that's the point we're making. It's like, you know what? The houses will be there. Don't ruin the whole thing because it's not exactly. You know what I mean? You can still. Okay. All right. So all right. You didn't get the double sink this time. All right. You know what? Okay. Fine. You know what? You're going to be in this house for a while. You put the double sink in. You're the owner. You do what you want.
Now you can do whatever you want.
Or B, use this house to get to the point where you're got the equity in the closet. Now you can buy the house. I got one with the marble countertops and the this one's got 3 sinks. I don't need 3, but it's got 3, and I'm taking it anyway. You know,
and I have to say, I've been blessed to the point that most of my deals that I had dealt with throughout the years, I haven't lost. I mean, I have maybe 1 or 2, and there was nothing to do with CMG or myself. Okay, so which is awesome.
Sure.
That I can say that without having to blink a bunch of times.
Well, like you said, you give everybody, you give them the guidance, you give them. It's like, and you'll lay it out and say, all right, here's your 4 paths. You go down this path, this is what's going to happen. You go down this path, this is going to happen. You down this path, which path you want to go down?
You know how many times I hear like my insurance or my company over here did this and this and that, and they're still with that company, or they're still with the same insurance. Well, it's time to maybe look at somewhere else to take care of you properly.
Sure.
And they take care of you.
What's the saying?
And that's what we hear, What's
the saying? If you're doing the same thing every time and expecting different results, who's the crazy one? Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, something like that. Because
same thing, you're gonna do the same results.
Yeah,
you have to do something
you can't
different.
do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
different.
if I have to put it there, if your lender is not communicating with you, if your lender is not answering your questions, you with the wrong. We said it before. You with the wrong lender.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Okay, I don't care who they are.
Well, and this is that balance, because obviously, you go to lending and so you're trying to get something and you're hoping and praying. So you're like, okay, I'll do whatever I got to do to make this guy say yes for me. And it shouldn't be that way. You're the customer. You're the one who's using the service. Now, granted,
we should help you.
They're giving you a big check of money, but at the end of the day, let's face it, CMG is a company. It's not a non-profit organization. They're making money off you too, like everybody.
As much as I like to be, I'm not.
This is the American dream, people. We pay for services you want. The difference is you're going to pay regardless, unless you were independently wealthy. Then you don't need to listen to this conversation anyway. But. But unless you're independently wealthy, you're going to need some help. Let's go with people that are going to work with you, not make you do something that says this or treat you like you're the one that that needs us. We don't need you. And that's the mindset. And you know what? That's probably the best thing. They give you a mindset is like, look, you need us much more than we need you. What do you got for me?
And
you guys are like,
that's
no,
not the way it should be.
Yeah, no. I think we're talking X's and O's, but if you boiled all this conversation out in one sentence, I think that would be the best sentence they could do. Is that mindset is different.
I know. I mean,
you don't have to prove to them you want a house. These folks are trying to help you get to the level where the numbers work.
And it's an amazing experience seeing their faces whenever they're pre-approved, knowing that it's able to happen, and when they close. And I don't go to closings. Elliot's goes, but their faces on their pictures.
Sure.
I'm like, it's me personally. I was the most exciting day of my life.
The right person. You
know,
see what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's making that effort that you put into it in people's life, it's a big thing.
It's your ticket in the game. I mean, it's like okay, you get your first driver's license. These are all cool, momentous moments, and you're like, all right, I'm part of society here, But all of that doesn't compare to when you get the keys, you walk through the house that first time. He's like,
mine.
This is mine, and no one. This is my investment in America. Like you literally have a place that I own it. It's nobody else's, and it's my world. Exactly. And that's your investment. And I know we talk about, being the American, being a dream, but that really is the American dream. Is you got your own little piece of the pie here, and that's where you build it from. And if you're starting out as a young couple with a little bit of nickels to rub together, then your little piece of pie is going to start small. But that's okay. You're still got a piece of pie. That piece of pie it's a lot easier to make that piece of pie bigger at that point than you trying to pay someone else and pay their pieces of pie and fill their pieces of pie.
And he knows, and I can say, when I was younger, I was not educated on buying a house, anything. Especially, I think, and I can say coming from a Latina family, it's hard because we're not our parents are not really educated on it either.
Sure.
So it's really hard for them to educate us. So you're going to make mistakes, know, and I did. And it took me a long time to redeem them and work towards it.
And I would even go, that's beyond Hispanic culture. I think it's just generational. I think like when I was younger, and certainly when my parents were younger, your grandparents, they were, now granted.
It's not a conversation that's, there.
Now granted, life was a little simpler there. There wasn't 50,000 computers and finding out things instantaneously. So they were talking more in theories like, all right, you got to save your money here. But still, they were instilling that. And as we get more technology friendly and things, it gets more complex and complicated. And people are more like, I don't know. Go to the bank. They'll tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? Exactly. It gets, and you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of this going on out there. But at the end of the day, the principle, the basics are the same. And you give the folks the bones, the basics. So regardless of where your financial situation is or where you want to go with that financial situation, these steps and these things that you give them will give that foundation a strength to go wherever you want to branch with that. And that's what your home is, and that's what this is about.
Anything
this is foundation.
Is possible. Trust me, whenever we say that, it's literally the truth. Anything is possible. You just have to work for it.
And also CMG. It's every customer, every time, no exceptions. No excuses.
Absolutely.
Now, that sounds a little like, wow, you guys got a big ship on your head. No, it's not that. You know what? Because you have to give everybody the time of day to take care and get their dreams done.
Sure.
And that is the difference. My other company that I was working before, it was, I can help you. Guess what? I love that. I love this even better.
Sure. They're committing to say, we're going to get you where you want to go. If you partner with us, you do your part, we're going to do our part. And at the end of the day, you're going to hit your goal.
Get that touchdown, what we do. And win the game.
Exactly. I just saw the time, so I better go here before they kick us off. But you can call Elliot's office. You can call direct. I got to, because of my blind self. You can call direct the office 575-208-2356. You can call that. That's the office. I guess you guys, now that we're loosening up on COVID, you probably spend a little bit more time in that office.
We've been there for a while.
I'm there every day.
I know you guys been kind of living out of the mobile office, aka your car or home, probably for the last year here. But back in the office, of course, you can call Elliot. His cell 719-237-4680. You can also go to his website and learn everything, not only about Elliot but CMG Financial as well. erodriguez.cmgfi.com. Now, after you've done reading all that, I'm sure there's a contact me link button, but if you just want to pop up your phone and email them, same address, erodriguez, instead of a dot, put an @ symbol at cmgfi.com, and that'll shoot him an email to him there. So, good deals. Is there anything we missed?
No.
Yeah, if you have any questions, like we talked generalities here. Now, if you're like, yeah, but what about this? Call him now, and now you can hit him with the what about this, and or at least set up an appointment, and then you get him with all your what about this. Just don't call him and say what about this.
We're there to help you.
Absolutely.
The goal is to help you and get a house, and get that dream come true.
And trust me, even if you're thinking my credit is so down in the hole, I can't. All right, you know what? You may be right, but give Elliot a call and let him say, yeah, you are, but do this, this, and this, and then we'll talk in a year, and then we'll see what happens. And if your goal is to do that, and you're like, I have no idea how to get there, Elliot and CMG should be your first call. So.
I can tell you, I got so many different situations that is impossible to even guess. But I bet you money that everybody out there falls in one box that everybody else have fallen into.
Sure.
And that's what I do. I try to figure out. I got a guy last night to call me. I got declined this and that, fell apart, blah, blah, blah. Now they're taking forever to get back to me. And like, oh, what happened? And he told me what happened. And I fixed it.
Sure.
And guess what? He can buy a house. They're in the process of buying a house now.
Good.
So it's not, you need somebody that cares and is going to do the time to make it work for you. You know, and I understand that can take a few more extra minutes here and there, but guess what? If he's going to take you an extra 10, 15 minutes to buy your home, that's not a problem. That is actually a great thing.
Well,
you know,
and we say it every time. The biggest investment a person or a family usually makes is the home. That's what it is. I mean, yeah, there's exceptions, and you've got your Ray Krocs or whoever out there that own, you know, your whatever. Maybe I should pick someone, Jeff Bezos. I was going to pick a more modern billionaire.
and you know what? We are building a CMG team here. Having a system here locally. I had assistants before, but they were not here.
Sure.
I need somebody here. Ted has an assistant here.
Okay.
You know, our goal is to get more lenders in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue growing and taking care of the community and be here for everybody and make sure that they get their homes, and their dreams come true.
Absolutely. We got to go, but 575 20. I should pull the glasses up. 208-2356. 575
And you can also text him too. He's really good. He don't answer, text him. He will call you back.
Because I might be with a customer at the time too. So.
Very good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we got to go.
In its products, but it motivates every interaction with its customers. Whether that's during a fire, a burglary, a medical emergency, or even just when you're setting up the system, there's always someone there who has your back to keep you safe and to make sure that you feel safe. To learn more about how SimpliSafe can help protect you and your home, visit simplysafekim.com, where you can customize your system, and while you're there, get a free HD security camera. Plus, you also get a 60-day risk-free trial, so there's nothing to lose. That's simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Time for the Southeastern New Mexico Sports Reports. A couple teams into the state softball championships yesterday because they won semifinal games. Congratulations so far to the Dexter Demons and the Loving Falcons. We'll hope to add further congratulations Friday after they play for titles. Dexter yesterday in Class 3A knocked off Cobre 2-1. Dexter plays West Las Vegas Friday at 4 o'clock at the UNM softball field. In Class 3A or 2A earlier in the day at noon, it'll be the Loving Falcons taking on the Tularosa Wildcats. Loving yesterday smothered Capitan by a score of 10-0. Now today you've got some action with Carlsbad softball playing at home against Los Lunas. That starts at 6:30, and Artesia softball in 4A semifinal playing at home against Silver. That starts at 10 a.m. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at 92.9 The Brand.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Warren Buffett is resigning as a trustee of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Buffett, the chairman and chief executive of Berkshire Hathaway, gave no reason for stepping down from the Gates Foundation, but questions have been raised about the structure of the leadership after reports of Bill Gates' behavior in the workplace. Sales of new homes fell in May for a second month, dropping a bigger than expected 5.9%. The Commerce Department says last month's decline pushed sales down to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 769,000. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 71 points to 33,874. The Nasdaq gained 18 to 14,271, and the S&P 500 dropped 4 points to 4,241. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When you need an oil change, but you don't want to sit at the shop all day, call Nazca Quick Lube. They're new to town, and what makes them unique is that they come to you. As your car is parked at work or wherever, they will change the oil and provide a tire rotation and restore your headlights, so you don't have to spend hours sitting at the shop. Call 808-9134. That's 808-9134. Nazca Quick Lube. Let their quality service come to you.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. Damon Graham, a New York Life agent here in Roswell, is going to join us for his monthly visit. We'll talk more finances. Keep listening. Now that Elliot's helping you get the house, Damon's going to plan for what's next and what's the next step after that. So we'll talk with Damon next hour. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. South Florida's Miami-Dade Fire Rescue got the call around 1:30 this morning.
We had a 12-story, 136-unit apartment complex that had sustained a partial collapse.
Ray Jadala with Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says crews quickly got down to business once they arrived on scene.
They pulled 35 occupants that were trapped inside the building. In addition to those 35, 10 were assessed and treated. 2 were transported to various hospitals.
And 1 body was recovered from the debris at this point.
Search and rescue efforts are still ongoing.
There's no word on what caused part of the building to give way. There's been speculation a sinkhole may have had something to do with it, but right now that's only speculation. It is not a new building. It went up in 1981. President Biden has taken the wraps off his plan for combating a stunning rise in violent crime in cities across the country.
The president's plan focuses on addressing gun violence, and it puts gun dealers who break federal law on notice.
We'll make sure you can't sell death and mayhem on our streets. It's an outrage. It has to end, and we'll end it.
Mr. Biden also proposes providing more money to cities that need more police. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is launching strike forces in 5 large cities to help take down illegal gun traffickers. Greg Clugston, the White House.
The president also reminding Americans who legally own guns that the feds have some big guns of their own.
If you wanted to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons.
A rally rolls on Wall Street this morning. Right now, the Dow is up 247 points. The S&P 22 points higher. The NASDAQ up 108 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dinovite, I started seeing great improvements. And today, 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dinovite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dinovite. When I get out the Dinovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dinovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
An indigenous group in Canada says it has discovered hundreds of unmarked graves at the site of another former residential school for indigenous children in southern Saskatchewan.
Local groups had used ground-penetrating radar to uncover the graves near what was once the Marieville Indian Residential School. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations described it as the most horrific and shocking such discovery to date. Between 1831 and 1996, Canada's residential school system separated about 150,000 Indigenous children from their families in a bid to forcibly assimilate them.
That's the BBC's Jessica McAllen reporting. A more than 40-year-old nuclear reactor in central Japan, which suffered a deadly accident, has resumed operation after being taken offline for a decade. Japan pushing to meet its carbon emissions reduction goal. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Teamsters Union setting its sights on Amazon.
The 1.4 million member organization will vote on whether to make organizing Amazon workers its main priority. The Teamsters accuses the nation's second largest private employer of exploiting employees by paying them low wages, pushing them to work at fast speeds, and offering no job security. Any effort to unionize Amazon is likely to be an uphill battle. None have been successful in Amazon's 26-year history, including a recent one at an Alabama warehouse where workers overwhelmingly voted against joining a union. Keith Peters reporting.
The U.S. economy grew at a solid 6.4% rate in the first 3 months of this year, setting the stage for what economists are forecasting could be a very strong year for the economy, with robust consumer spending leading the way. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 259 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Only works on video.
Yeah, it did. But for those people on video, yeah, they got a real interactive experience there. And for those who aren't on video, y'all got to get on video, man.
We got it.
It's the real Mornings with Mike Winters experience.
Yeah.
We bring it all to the table.
Yeah, you get to see a little bit more of the behind the third wall, I guess.
I was hoping for a better spin on that one. The Deuce.
Yeah. You need if you're gonna do that, you need the Price is Right click from the wheel spin to. Yeah.
It's gotta go. Okay, now remember this, and I haven't watched Price is Right in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's on hiatus right now for the whole Drew Carey thing, but do they still boo you if you don't make the wheel go all the way around?
I would hope so, because that was in the Bob Barker days. That was you got booed if it didn't go around at least once.
But we're a softer society now. Do they still allow people to boo if if they can't make the wheel all the way around? Because that's a real like rib. It's like, you suck. I mean, it really is like the most like heckling I've ever seen on a daytime TV show.
Well, I think if you're going to subject yourself to being on a national television show like that, you gotta be aware that you might be opening yourself up to something.
Sure, but it's like on Wheel of Fortune, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Their big boo moment is when Bankrupt happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily the fault. That's chance.
But
that's
I don't think they boo. It's more of an awe.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're right. Aw. Oh, yeah. And I'm 100% convinced that sound effect is saved in a file.
I'm sure. It's
there's no.
a
I mean, the
digital
audiences
version.
do a little bit of it, but there's no way they get that same exact tone every single time.
Yeah, those guys that are on, they're probably from the 50s.
That throws me off hard. Like whenever you hear a laugh track on a show, chances are the people who are laughing are dead right now.
That's right. They've been laughing for
moved
years.
on. Somebody owns a car lot in like Poughkeepsie.
But maybe that's your legacy.
Right?
Maybe you're like watching, I don't know, what's Mike? No, I was gonna say I'm trying to pick a TV show that's on the air right now.
There's not a lot that actually do
The Neighborhood, or Last Man Standing is dumb, but that was one of the few live studio audiences ones, so that doesn't count. But The Neighborhood, that's a more popular one now. That's with Cedric the Entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys laughing there, they're probably, maybe you're like, you know what? Hear that laugh in Cedric's show there? That's great Grandpappy James. Grandpappy James went to the Howdy Doody show back in 1952, and they recorded him laughing. And he was in 8 is Enough. He was in.
Yeah, somewhere there exists an IMDb page for laugh trackers. That would be great. The Internet Laugh Database, ILDB. But no, what always makes me laugh is those ones that are like the live studio audience. You always, and I can pick them out too, when there's that one guy in the audience that's like, I'm a laugh extra so I can hear myself when I watch this back later. You ever see like that one guy? It's like a slight joke. And
the Cape Fear laugh.
Yeah, exactly. You have a specific sound effect laugh. I hear that all the time. There's one. There was like Fresh Prince or something, and there was one guy in one episode who just continued to howl like, every time a joke would. And that was like the big thing. Every time you watch the episode back, you hear it. And you're like, that guy did that on purpose.
See, if I had my sitcom and they were doing laugh tracks, I would totally slip in the De Niro Cape Fear laugh for when he's sitting in the theater. Have you ever seen that part? He's like
I'm thinking of a different movie. Sorry.
Yeah, they're sitting there watching like a horror movie or something, and it's not a full theater. There's some people in there, and then there's De Niro sitting by himself, and then there's parts that are just completely not appropriate for laughing, and there's old De Niro in the back, not just laughing, but doing this loud cackle, and so every time I think of inappropriate laughs, I think of Cape Fear,
right?
And so I would crowbar that into every one of my if I had a sitcom, that's what I'd roll.
That's how you do it. The Cape Fear laugh. No, I was thinking of a different scene. I can't remember what the movie is, but all I remember was the guy was sitting in the theater being shown something he did not want to see, and he was going, "Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!"
But yeah, I don't know how that started, but that conversation.
We're talking about the sound effects on like Price is Right.
Oh yeah.
If we want to bring it all the way back, it was the Price is Right.
Price is Right. What's going on with Drew Carey? I didn't know he's on hiatus. What did he do?
Okay, so from what and I don't know if it's still on hiatus, but it was for a long time because
is it a Me Too or something he said wrong?
I think it was his fiance had like cancer or something.
Oh, so it's a medical.
She passed away. He was caring for her for a long time. She passed away, and it just devastated him.
Okay, now so it's a sad. I mean, it's all sad, but
yeah, he was.
I don't know. When I hear people losing jobs or people not doing something in this day and age, I mean, all right, what did they dig up on them on the internet and find out that was something inappropriate?
You know what weirded me out was the story of Patton Oswalt's wife. Like, do you remember that whole thing?
Yeah, she had cancer of some kind. I don't remember all the details.
I'm not sure exactly. It was some kind of like pancreatic or something like that. But it was real. Like it came on real quick and it just took her out. But what was weird was she was a crime scene or a crime drama podcast host, or she wrote books about crimes, like researching crimes and criminals and stuff like that. And there was a lot of like weird stuff around the whole like I'm not speculating or anything necessarily, but it was just very weird how quickly he got past it, how quickly he moved on from the situation. He found somebody else and he got married again real quick.
Yeah.
And
Matter of fact, I heard when I was traveling, I had one of the comedy channels on, and they aired one of his podcasts, and it was him and his new. I can't remember if he said wife or fiance.
I think they're married now.
Yeah. And it was like in March of last year is when they aired this, because it was right when COVID, or I mean, it was during COVID. So because they were talking about stuff in March, so I'm going to say it's probably the summer or later last year when this was originally recorded. But yeah, and
I will say one of the best stand-up specials I have ever seen, ever seen, was the stand-up special he did right after she passed away. Which again, odd because it was weird timing. Like he had a special coming out. Like you guys went drastic on promoting this thing.
Yeah.
But it was the way they did it was very like heartfelt and poignant. Like it was good and funny at the beginning, and then he kind of got into the story of like his wife and stuff, and then kind of capped it off with humor. Which, by the way, if you want to get the purest, best laugh you're ever going to get out of somebody, take them to the depths of disparity first, because when there's like tears streaming down their face, whatever it is, the silliest thing in the world, just make them laugh like a schoolboy.
Looking for an excuse to get out of the funk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just anything to pull yourself out of the muck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tactic.
80% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah. I would argue, welcome to pretty much Walking Dead or any other show. That's the same move. They do it to you. You know?
Scare the bejeepers out of you. And
Breaking Bad, all of them use that same formula in some way, shape, or form. They bring you to the darkest depths, and then they crack a joke, and you're like,
yeah, no, they just show Jesse dancing around with his suit full of air, and you're like, I'm happy now. That's all I needed.
Pretty much. So, yeah, that's that's life in general, pretty much.
I'll have to go back and watch Price is Right, see if they still do the boo thing.
Yeah, I hope they do. I feel that's a tradition. It's just like, when the little yodeling guy's going up, you got to have the certain music. Yeah. Let's play Plinko. All that's part of the Price is Right, man.
Do they still make the sound when he falls off? Is the question, because that's pretty violent in this day and age.
That's right.
We're woke. We're too woke for falling hikers.
But then they give you a prize of here's a new wakeboard. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a second. Damon Graham, your local New York life agent, is going to join us for his monthly visit. We'll chit-chat about life and how to navigate it financially and safely. So we'll talk with him in just a bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with local news, your town hall business update as well, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at your weather, and it's interesting. I'll just say that. It's not a boring weather. It's an interesting weather. Here it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 78 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds are out of the south at 5 miles per hour. We got a rain shot today. 20% chance at some rain this afternoon, mainly after 4 p.m. time frame. Mostly sunny, otherwise hot. They say 98 for the high here. I know Steve said 103, so we'll just split the uprights and call it 100. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain, mainly before midnight. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 72. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, hot, 103. South winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 71. Southwest winds 10 to 15. And then there's the weekend. Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon. Mostly sunny, high of 94. Winds will be a little breezy out of the north. 15 to 25 miles per hour. Saturday night, our chance of rain bumps up to 50%, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 67. Sunday, a 70% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, high of 82. I like that. Sunday night, we're looking at a 70% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64. So we're even down in the 60s for overnight lows. Crazy. And then Monday, we're looking at a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. We might not even get to 80. 78 is what they're saying our high is on Monday. So, and matter of fact, Tuesday will be just peaking in the 80s with rain chances. Wednesday, mid-80s. And these are like 40, 50% chances of rain for Monday, Tuesday, too. So, yeah. A little hot, but I think we're going to get a big cool down here really into Saturday night and to Sundays when all this is kind of moving into our area. So I'll take it. Again, we don't need it like a couple weeks ago where we get all the rain at like one time. But if we can spread this out over 5 days and again, not all at once, we'll be good to go. All right, it is 8:17. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then Damon Graham will join us, your local New York life agent. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Free money.
Wait, what?
Now that we have your attention, the Savings Splashdown is on at Roswell Honda. Saturday, June 26th from 10 to 1, everyone has the chance to win money on the spot in the cash grab. They'll have great prizes, free food, and of course,
deep discounts.
Like an 08 CRV for under $7,000 and a 2013 Mazda 3 for under $6,000. Get a free Bluetooth speaker with a qualified test drive and 1 entry for a brand new above-ground pool just for stopping by. The Savings Splashdown is on at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
If you have a student who's ready to further their education, think Eastern New Mexico University first. The state of New Mexico, through the Lottery Scholarship Program, will pay 100% of your student's tuition if you are a New Mexico resident. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to further your student's higher education at the only 4-year university on the High Plains. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
Asian Market's restaurant is back open for limited dining, so come and experience all of Nook's amazing creations for yourself. Nook at Asian Market has first-hand experience preparing the most delicious Asian cuisines. You won't find a more authentic or savory dish anywhere. Can't dine in? Call ahead at 840-5309 and it'll be ready for you to pick up. The restaurant is open 11 to 7 Monday through Saturday at 5702 South Main in Roswell. Come experience the flavors of the East at Asian Market.
Pico Propane and Fuels is pleased to join forces with Advanced Energy and Don Davis to serve the Roswell community. For over 25 years, Pico Propane and Fuels has been providing customers with high-quality products and reliable service. Discover the kind of service you deserve. From underground and above-ground tank installations to reliable deliveries of propane for your home or business, Pico Propane and Fuels wants to be your go-to partner. Running out of propane in the middle of a hot shower or while grilling outdoors would not be an ideal situation. Sign up for their free Keep Full program with tank monitoring and never worry about running out of propane again. They also offer convenient cylinder exchange and refills. Call Pico Propane and Fuels today, 575-622-7921 for all your propane needs. That's 575-622-7921 or visit them online at picopropane.com. Pico Propane and Fuels. We sell service.
They say you can catch a monkey in the jungles of Africa by using a large gourd. All you have to do is cut a hole in the gourd, allowing enough space for the monkey to get his hand through. Place a few treats inside. Then you tie the gourd onto a tree and wait. What happens is the monkey squeezes its hand into the gourd to retrieve the treat. The monkey tries to pull his hand out, but it won't fit because the monkey refuses to let go of the treat. Then you simply throw a net over the lovable creature and he is yours. Now let me know if you try that and it worked. But isn't this just like us in the world? We want the goodness and the freedom that God offers, but we refuse to let go of the world. Isn't it just like Satan to set out gourds with tasty treats in them for us to grab? So this week, let go of the world and grab a hold of God. You will be glad you did.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Are you looking for a new church home? Tabernacle Baptist Church in Roswell personally invites you to any one of their 4 services, with 3 on Sunday and 1 on Wednesday. Services are Sunday at 10 and 11 in the morning and 6 in the evening. On Wednesday evening, service is at 7. Tabernacle Baptist Church is across from DeBrenham Stadium in Roswell. The family at Tabernacle Baptist Church would love to have your family join them as they celebrate God. Come and grow together.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Ladies and gentlemen, So Easy Sewing finally has our most popular sewing machines and sergers back in stock. We have the Zest, our entry-level machine, on sale for $149. We have the Amazing Jazz 2, which boasts a 12-inch throat, on sale for $799, and our number one selling Verve sewing embroidery combo machine on sale for $999. All machines include lifetime instruction on the use of the machine. Hurry in to 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell to claim your new machine before they're gone. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning for his monthly visit, your local New York Life agent, Damon Graham, with us. Morning, Damon.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Doing well. How's the summer going for you and your family?
Crazy busy.
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt, but it's all good stuff.
It is. And especially coming out of COVID now, our your downtimes can tend to get busier than your quote not downtimes. You know? Yeah. It's like I gotta get back to work just to get some time to rest.
Pretty much. I mean, the last time I was on, we were right in the middle of graduations and end of school year, and It just was a crazy mess, and it hasn't really let up.
Yeah. Probably won't till probably for a while here, till we kind of settle really into a normal again, and people aren't so much worrying about, all right, can I go here? Can I not go here? Do I got to wear a mask here? And once we kind of get past that, and we just start, oh yeah, I got to get here. I'm going to do that, and you don't think about the 27 other things that make you think about now just to go get a loaf of bread or whatever it is.
Right,
but we'll see.
Not as many hoops, but still. It's always in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm. We were talking mask, and then we'll move on real quick. I did get a chance when I was in Tucson. We went to like one of these outlet areas to shop around in a little bit, and most were fine, but there was one or two stores they would not let you in unless you had a mask.
Really? Still in Arizona? Still?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like one of the outlet. You know how they have those little outlet, and I'm just making an observation. Y'all take whatever you want out of this. Those businesses that were doing that. There weren't a lot of customers in there. Just saying. Right. There were a lot of customers in the other places where they were making people. Generally speaking, it was the employees and maybe one person.
Right. and unfortunately, I believe most of those mandates come down from the national level. Mm-hmm. Just like we were talking about the national parks.
Sure.
And federal buildings and those things are still under mandate.
Yeah.
And they don't have a choice. If they're going to operate under the premise of that big corporate umbrella, they have to follow those rules. And right now, I agree with you. It's killing them.
It's got, I'm just making the observation. Like, people are choosing to go shop elsewhere, and that's their right to do that. And so act accordingly, but I'm just making observations.
Sure. No, I agree.
For folks that aren't familiar with our conversations with Damon, he joins us once a month. And obviously, when we talk finances and things like that, you can't get specifics because you talk to two different people and their stories are completely different on their financial needs or goals or any of that combination. But we talk in generalities. We always and I don't care what your goals are. There are certain things that that everyone has to do to get in those directions. I mean, we have to. I don't care what your goal is. You have to have some fiscal responsibility to get there. If you're and that's. But that's where the beauty of this is different. The people's end games and goals aren't the same. Some people that no, I want to have a big Scrooge McDuck pile of money vault waiting for me when I die to distribute to my family. Others are like, I ain't got no family. I'm just trying to make it through the rest of my life here. Or, people's end games are different, and you give different advice and different directions to go in based on those decisions. So we can't really tell you that.
But one of the commonalities and kind of a visual that you can think about is no matter what your situation is, you think of it like building a house. Mm-hmm. You can't start with the roof. You have to start with a foundational piece.
Sure.
And if you build on sandy soil, your house is going to crumble. Mm-hmm. So you have to start off with a solid foundation. And generally speaking, for most people, that's making sure that you've got your emergency fund. Mm-hmm. Because, if especially coming out of COVID, a lot of people had to lean on their emergency fund for several months until things started materializing, whether it was unemployment or making sure that their job was going to be there, or having to take time off, 2 weeks to quarantine. I ran into a lot of people. I sell supplemental insurance as well, and disability comes into play when you're quarantined for COVID. That 2 weeks, depending on the carrier, can fall under a disability claim.
Interesting.
Which, most people, they either had to take vacation, sick leave, whatever. Well, just making sure that your financial and your foundation pieces are in place, your emergency fund is there. And, depending upon whether it's 2 months, 1 month, 6 months, a year, you've got something that gives you that peace of mind to say, I know that if my income or my spouse's income or whoever is interrupted, we still have this little piece over here to keep us going.
Absolutely.
And then you build from there.
Absolutely. I mean, we could. I would say now is as good as time as any here. We're getting to where we're told here at July 1 that the state's going to be fully opened, and we're starting to come out of COVID here. Now's the time for the lessons learned portion of this last year and a half here, and we talk about that globally and as a country and things. Well, you should do the same thing as a family. Yeah. Like you said, you're talking about people relying into emergency funds. I imagine there's a lot of people that learned in this COVID, I have an emergency fund, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough, or what? I should have done this, and so now that we're starting to come out of this, let's get prepared for the next time something like this will happen. Right. I'm not saying COVID's going to happen again, but something will happen. It's life. It's reciprocal. Everything's, there's going to be things that happen globally that will impact you individually as a family, and COVID is a very much a huge reminder of that right now.
Exactly.
And I say, okay, let's take that time. You make an appointment with Damon or I'll be honest, whoever you trust on this kind of stuff, I say you got a pretty good shot here with Damon here. He's a pretty bright man. But what I'm saying is, if you're not thinking about this, you're setting yourself up to fail again the next time if you're not doing this. You've got to take these lessons, say, okay, I didn't do so well in this. How do I mitigate this? And everyone can do this. I don't care if you're the new couple starting out or, new in life, or if you're a little bit more seasoned and you've gone and been through a job or two and looking to, maybe already got the family going and all that. Either way, it's never a bad time to start planning and versus no planning.
Exactly. Think about the analogy. You don't go camping and just show up at the campsite with absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to be sleeping on the ground with nothing, and you're not going to be able. I mean, you can't fend for yourself. So the planning mechanisms have to be put in place.
Sure.
And starting from the ground up, making sure that your emergency fund is in place, making sure your life insurance is in place, and that need covers a broad spectrum. I mean, everything from just final needs to covering the funeral, all the way to legacy to kids and grandkids and everything in between, income replacement.
Sure.
All of those different things. And if you don't address those before you need them, you're not going to have them.
Sure. And you got to remember, too, it's a marathon and not a sprint. You don't want to walk into today and just be like, all right, I want the whole kit and caboodle right now. It's you build this process gradually, because obviously, especially new folks starting out there, like, I don't even know if I got enough to get groceries for the week here. I'm trying to make that little magic happen here. And you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to say put money aside for something. And it's all done gradually. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, we're not asking you to bank thousands of dollars in the first, but you know what? Maybe if you're making $50 a week, all right, can we somehow put 5 of that somewhere or 10 of that somewhere? We start there, and then we work from there.
You got to eat an elephant, and the only way to do that is one bite at a time.
Yeah.
So, starting that process, and I expect that the majority, again, and this happened several years back, but the majority of my first-time appointments are going to be budgeting, because a lot of people realized during the pandemic that they didn't have a budget in place that was sustainable. But then again, a lot of us figured out that, oh, hey, if we can't go to the movie, we can't go to Albuquerque every other weekend, we can't do this. We've got a lot of excess, income.
It's true. It wasn't places to spend that disposable income, and you start stacking up a little bit.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons that the stock market stayed strong through the entirety of the pandemic, which most people looking at it going, this doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no good information in the system. Why is the market staying high? Well, one of the supporting mechanisms was our savings rate, because those that did have some planning in place, when they got their stimulus check, they sat on it and they went, you know what? I don't know what next month is going to bring.
I'm going to stash this away.
I'm going to stash it and I'm going to sit on it. And then as things started developing and they could see where things were going, they said, hey, I've got a little extra.
Yeah.
I can start that IRA.
Mm-hmm.
I can start that life insurance policy. I can do something with it and still be conservative enough to have enough in my pocket that if the pandemic gets worse, I'm still okay.
Sure. And, just, peeling back my own personal curtain a little bit, we got those checks like everybody else did. And we were, we did some of that ourselves. We're like, well, we're not going to spend it on anything. So some of it we squirreled away. Some of it we paid down some of our debt with. And, I was like, all right, well, we got a couple grand on this card. Let's put that down, let's work that down. So,
and it's not, that is certainly, paying down debt in that scenario was not a bad idea for some.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it going, okay, now because of the level of governmental spending, we are, and most people see it in the news, we're facing inflation.
Yeah.
And, you can hide under a rock or whatever, but inflation's there. And if you notice your prices, not only on metal, lumber, building materials, your plate of food at your even all the way down to your food truck, has increased $2.
Sure.
Well, that's because they're having trouble getting supply in.
Yeah, it's all about supply and demand.
Exactly.
And demand right now is way higher than supply. And so they call the shots.
Exactly. And it's a perpetual circle because we had the extra funding. So everybody got to a point where they were spending a little bit more. Well, that buying created a deficit on the supply side, increased demand, decreased supply, prices going up, inflation going up, and they haven't raised the interest rates to counteract that process to keep inflation down.
Sure. And on, in the simpler thing, there was no production being done on the other side. So there was no replacing the
supply,
which increased the demand and decreased the supply. And it, when you look at it that way, it doesn't take a PhD to figure out this ain't going to work,
No, but unfortunately the majority of our politicians have forgotten Econ 101.
Sure. Well, they're pandering to you and I. They're not pandering to the people that actually make the right decisions. So when we're sitting there saying, no, give us more free money, they're going to be like, okay, how do we do that? Because we got to get their vote. So, you got to remember that sometimes it's like, are our politicians working for our vote? Or are they working to make our country better? And at the end of the day, that's the debate we have in the political world, and that's another conversation. But regardless of what's going on there, that's where Damon can come in and say, regardless of the political world and what's going on, you've got to create that nest egg and create that ability to protect your family through whatever storm's going on, whether it's personal storms like fires and deaths in the family and things, or more global storms like people are losing their jobs because of COVID or things like either way. This is there to protect you in those things. And if nothing goes wrong, this is also to say, you know what? I'm here in my 60s now. I'm about ready to tired of doing this mess. I'm going to go sell everything, buy an RV, and see the world. Well, guess what? Now you can do that.
You can do that.
And if you're not planning, guess what? You're in your 60s and say, man, I'd love to see the world, but I can't because I got to pay for this house that I'm still, paying on.
And you're sitting in the dark eating cat food.
Exactly.
And that is not a good place to be.
Yeah, and you don't want. It's bad when you're younger. You put through that because I'm doing this because I want to do that. But when you're older, and it's a little harder pill to swallow.
It is without a doubt. But and just like we were talking earlier, the foundational pieces, that's what you've got to put together as soon as you can, and then you eat the elephant. Every time that you can, you take another bite, and you build on that structure to meet your goals, your needs, and it's just a matter of getting off high center.
And I would guess too, you probably get, especially if you find people that once they get like a game plan or a structure, they really thrive in following that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some people do that real well. Some they're like, no, I want to forge my own way. But and there's a right path to do both that way. But you got to educate yourself on the risks, rewards, and or have the Sherpa like person, like someone like Damon, to bounce these ideas off and say, yeah, but you're opening yourself to this, and this. If we did this instead of this, you're still getting what you want to do, but you're not exposing yourself to this, and this. And that's where, you know, so if you're a little like, I want to go wild with this, Damon would be like, I'll ride it with you, but I'm going to steer you on way. Or if, you know, and it really is that person that, and that's at the end of the day, that's kind of where you're at. I mean, yes, you get the training to do all the minutia of all it, but at the end of the day, it's almost that sounding board person. Say, look, I want to do this. Is that a smart move? And you can give them the pros and cons on if that's a smart move or not, you know?
And that's exactly it. I mean, it's, you're good at what you do. Mm-hmm. Let me be good at what I do.
Yeah.
And realistically, who and wherever you're at, it's finding an individual that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's me or anybody else in the industry, it's finding someone that you trust, that you can sit down, that you feel that they're going to give you valid information for your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then expanding on that, growing that situation, and your plan falls into place.
Absolutely. Yeah. You may be an expert at earning income from a job. Damon's the guy that say, okay, now that you've got that income, how can we make it work for you instead of you keeping working to make more of this?
Yep.
And that's life. That's the American dream. You know, you work hard, you get this living. All right, how do I make sure that this living that I've accrued over 20, 30, 40 years is going to last me the next 40 years or whatever it is? And that's
and see, the onus to me is on me once I meet you
mm-hmm.
to establish that I bring enough to the table to sit at your table of advisors.
Sure.
Because ultimately, in my mind, that's what it comes down to, is we all can't be a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate doing cement. You know, concrete is not my forte.
Yeah.
I can do it, but I don't like to. So
Sure.
I would rather pay someone to do it. Well, it's the same scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You build your table of advisors,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I strive to be, is to build that relationship and that trust to be able to sit down at your table.
Sure. Well, it's let's face it, life's the gamble and everything else, and so much your finances very much so are too. But it's the Kenny Rogers, the Gambler song. You know, it's going to be that way. You just got to know when to make the move. When it's the hold 'em, fold 'em, walk away, run, the whole song there. That's not a whole lot different than what we're talking about here, just in the bigger scheme of things. And it's just okay, but we don't grow up being financial experts unless you were surrounded by that stuff or someone taught you it. A lot of it's not going to just absorb onto you. I mean, some of it will, I hope, but when you get into the minutia of putting say you're looking for a tax shelter, I'm pretty sure unless you're doing this every day, you're probably not well versed on all the different options that are available to you. You may have known what your dad did 30 years ago, but things have changed a little bit from how you do. I mean, the tried and true don't, but the ways to get there, it's a little bit different than it was probably when your parents were doing this kind of stuff.
And you're spot on that one.
Yeah.
Because I was having this conversation just the other day that this world has changed immensely just over the last 20 years
Mm-hmm.
because of the transfer of information. I mean, previously you could have a tsunami in Japan and we wouldn't find out about it until a day or so later.
So the markets wouldn't.
So the markets wouldn't react to that
Mm-hmm.
until they saw some of the fallout from the tsunami. Then they'd go, okay, now we can react. But now tsunami happens today.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds later, we know about it here, and the markets are reacting.
It's impacting the money. That
Exactly.
instantaneous. And
so that has a huge impact on how you place your plan and
Yeah.
where you put things. and how you react to it.
Yeah, I could have, and I know this is not my world or anything, but when we think of the stock market and trading, of course, the image I think most Americans think of is the New York Stock Exchange floor. There's been enough movies and TV shows that put you there, and you kind of get that feeling. And the image is always the same. The guys in the coats run around. It looks like just a big cluster of screaming and hollering. It's actually very much an orchestra, but people don't realize it unless you're in there. And you're thinking, okay. 30 years ago, it looked like that, and they were finding information, hours, next day, whatever it was, and now it's literally the stock market opens and the ticker's going on the TV, and a piece of information happens, and it impacts it seconds later.
Yeah.
And so I always wonder, it's like we always had that confusing look then, like, is it 10 worse now, or is technology still make it? I'm just kind of curious, I wonder how it changed that world down there,
I don't know. I was supposed to have the opportunity to go to New York in general, but my plan was to go to the stock exchange last October, and that all got canceled.
COVID probably put a wrinkle on that one.
It was a New York Life trip.
Okay.
And, it was going to be their 175th anniversary blowout.
Were you going to be one of the group that got to be up where they rang the bell, or the CEO up there and hang out?
We hadn't gone that far.
Okay.
But New York Life was taking the top 2020 agents for 2020 and taking them to New York for their 175th anniversary blowout.
Wine and dine them a little bit and show them a meal, good time.
And COVID kiboshed that.
Yeah. That's unfortunate because, New York, you see the movies and everything, but as far as dining goes, it's crazy expensive. But they really do have the best of everything. And I don't know how they pull it off, like bagels and stuff. They always say it's the water, but I don't, it's just like, no matter where you go, it's like, who's got the best pizza? New York. Who's got the best Chinese food? New York. Who's got the best bagels? New York. And they ain't wrong.
Really? I was looking. It was one of the bucket list things, and I wanted to go. And I thought, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. I'm going to be able to do it on New York Life dime. Well,
didn't happen.
But it will.
Good. Yep. Good. Well, you have to share that experience with us. I'll always be curious and how that they do all that. But in the meantime, I just saw the time. So, but I'm hoping people are listening here now that we're the world's opening up again. Now's that time. Sit down, give Damon a call, and say, "Hey, let me sit down," because like Damon said at the beginning. The first part of this is he's getting to know you and getting to know your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your current status, and then he can percolate and formulate and say, okay, you want to get here, let me give you some paths on how you can do that, and let's sit and talk and find out which ones, and that's where the conversation is going to begin. It's not almost talking numbers per se that first time. It's talking theories, concepts, and what all right, what you're coming to see me, what's your end game? Right. What are you wanting? What are you hoping from me?
And, one of the biggest topics throughout the since the pandemic hit and the tailwind behind it is life insurance.
Yeah.
Because so many were struck with the reality that they either did not have it or did not have enough.
Sure.
Because, I have delivered more death claim checks in the last 8 months than I have my entire career. It's kind of crazy, though. The majority of them were not COVID related.
Really?
But people were just dying.
Well, I would say, because obviously the people that are least concerned about life insurance are people that are younger and feel, let's face it, when we're young, we're all indestructible, right?
Sure.
Death is something we don't even think, I'm 20-something strapping, I got the whole world. Yeah, exactly. COVID probably knocked that down a peg a little bit. They were like, oh, just because I'm 21 and in the prime of my health don't mean tomorrow's not guaranteed to me.
Exactly.
And so I bet there's a little of that going on, too, and just some of that.
There has been.
So if this conversation is saying, you know what, time to make a difference here, time to get an opportunity to have that conversation, start planning, give Damon a call. You can call him direct, 575-623-0803. That's the office number. You can also give him a holler on his cell, 575-626-4268. And
4298.
Oh, 4298, sorry, glasses.
Yep.
Those 6s, 8s, and 9s start even. You're watching me do this.
I was.
And, of course, you can always email if you're folks that love to do that. It's ddgraham at ft.newyorklife.com. And I think, don't you have Facebook and all that, too? If you can look up Damon Graham on Facebook, he'll be happy. Or I'm guessing in COVID world, you probably want to give him a call first or something to set up an appointment. I mean, if you happen
That's always best.
If you happen to stroll by the office and he's in there, he'll talk to you. But if time is a bit strained for you, call, make an appointment, and things like
Definitely.
that. But Damon's here to just and like I said, that first conversation is just a conversation. Let's sit and talk. All right, come to me, or I'm coming to you here. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? What do you want to do with this? And let's go with it.
And we and definitely, if still face to face is a little uncomfortable for you, we can do Zoom. We can do over the phone. All the anything that. And in fact, I even had some cases during COVID that I never even saw the person.
Because and technology in the world of digitally, electronically signing and transferring, that's been a godsend. I know there's moments of you want to throw it out the window, but in the big scope of things, it's moved business along where business may have shut down had that not been available.
Yeah. And it blows my mind because I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I run into my client because I've never seen them, and that it bugs me. Because I'm like, I'm a face-to-face person.
Sure.
I like to know who I am.
You wanna,
and I like dig into their world, and I know because that way I can make the recommendations that are applicable to their life.
Sure.
And I'm sitting here going, I have no idea what this person looks like.
Well, if you got a couple of these clients, maybe you could do like a post-COVID reunion. And we're like, we're not here to talk finances. We're all here to just eat some pizza and chit-chat. But I just wanted to see you.
Yeah, I just want to know what you look like. So it has been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, and it will continue. Trust me, we're not done. There's gonna be more curveballs coming. I got a feeling, but weather the storm. That's how you do it. And step one on weathering the storm is picking up the phone and giving Damon a call here. So, is there anything we missed?
No, I think we're good, Mike. I think this was a good, just kind of round table type scenario.
Sure, I'm telling you, now we're opening up and things. Now's the time to look back and assess. All right, lessons learned. What went well during COVID? What did we just fumble the football on? And let's because something's going to happen again. I mean, especially if you're 20-something, you're going to see a whole lot more in the world before you're done leaving it. Trust me, there's going to be stuff that's going to happen. It's just it's kind of funny. I'm in my pushing 50 here, and I look back and I'm like, man, I've seen a lot of stuff in this 50 years, and it goes by in a zip, man.
One of the analogies is that in a 20-year time frame in the market, are you going to see downturns? Of course you are.
Yeah.
And you'll average 4 to 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you plan and whether you know what to do during those downtimes to survive them. And it's the same way with a pandemic. It's the same way with life in general. It's just making sure that you're educated to the point that you can make the decisions that will positively impact your existence.
Yes. Just like you gamers out there. Your strategy is to save the game more, so when you die, you don't have to go back as far. This is that in real life.
Yeah, true. I never thought about that one, but okay, we'll go with that.
Kind of like that in real life a little bit. It's like establishing more save points on your game there.
In life, there's very few resets.
Yeah, exactly. But at least this will get you where you don't lose everything, and you get to pick up the pieces and move forward instead of trying to keep going backwards.
Exactly.
So. Well, thank you, Damon. As always, appreciate the visit. And we'll see you here next time, if not sooner.
There you go.
Thanks,
right, Mike.
It's 8:50. Time for some news, and we got your business update coming as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is among those calling on the U.S. government to list so-called forever chemicals as hazardous waste under federal law, saying the move would provide a regulatory path for states across the nation that are dealing with contamination at military bases and other locations. The governor filed her brief petition with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Wednesday. It follows a recent congressional testimony given by the state's Environment Secretary, James Kenney, and others, in which they made the same request to list as hazardous perfluoroalkyl and perfluoroalkyl substances. Legislative analysts say New Mexico is the only top oil-producing state to have recovered to pre-pandemic levels of production. But at the same time, they warned Wednesday the market remains volatile. Staff members with the Legislative Finance Committee suggested the panel of lawmakers take care not to grow the state's budget based on current forecasts that suggest more favorable revenues from the oil and gas industry over the short term. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Warren Buffett is resigning as a trustee of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Buffett, the chairman and chief executive of Berkshire Hathaway, gave no reason for stepping down from the Gates Foundation, but questions have been raised about the structure of the leadership after reports of Bill Gates' behavior in the workplace. Sales of new homes fell in May for a second month, dropping a bigger-than-expected 5.9%. The Commerce Department says last month's decline pushed sales down to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 769,000. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 71 points to 33,874. The Nasdaq gained 18 to 14,271, and the S&P 500 dropped 4 points to 4,241. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When you need an oil change, but you don't want to sit at the shop all day, call Nazca Quick Lube. They're new to town, and what makes them unique is that they come to you. As your car is parked at work or wherever, they will change the oil and provide a tire rotation and restore your headlights, so you don't have to spend hours sitting at the shop. Call 808-9134. That's 808-9134. Nazca Quick Lube. Let their quality service come to you.
Travis Hicks, Richland Auto Group. I'm here at Richland Chevrolet and Richland Dodge, living and working through some unprecedented times in my business and in our country. Even though it appears our lots are virtually empty, we're still selling new Chevys, GMCs, Buicks, Cadillacs, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. They're just selling right off the truck. Keep an eye on our websites. You can find them by Googling Richland Motors Roswell, as they show incoming inventory up to a few weeks out. Also, there hasn't been a better time to sell or trade your car in my whole career. Anemic new car inventories make the value of your car higher than ever. We've recently been able to give people who purchased their vehicles as far back as 2018 as much now as they paid then. Let me say it again. The car you bought as far back as 2018 could be worth as much as you paid for it then. And the best news is that our governor's color designation doesn't change the value of your trade. Freedom, trading at Richland. Just another reason to do business with Richland, where service is now job one.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 56 minutes after 8 o'clock. And hey, Have you guys been to Zia Guns USA here in Roswell recently? Well, if not, they've got you covered. They've got in stock now the Rossi 22 caliber rifle. It's in stock on sale now, only $149 while supplies last. They've got a matter of fact right now, the Zia Guns USA is now a full line Tacticam dealer. The same ones that you see on the hunting shows worldwide. They've got them there at Zia Guns. Also, a new shipments of Benchmade knives and case knives are right now at Zia Guns USA. They're selling, they sell guns. They do that. That's that part you probably knew. But they're buying guns too. They've got cash on hand in store, so you can walk in there and then walk away with that cold hard cash. Also, if you're a Black Rifle coffee drinker, Zia Guns USA carries Black Rifle coffee. The whole line is available and waiting for you to pick up for yourself or family or gifts or things like that. And of course, Dr. Squatch, we talk about those soap products and things available online through Facebook's where I saw it the first time. But Zia Guns USA here in Roswell is your only authorized Dr. Squatch retailer in the region. So after you see the soaps online, you're like, but I bet they're not the same as they look on the thing here. Well, now it is, and you can go see it for yourself at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Pick it, smell it up, see for you, because it's really cool. I want to whittle it. I'm not going to lie. I remember the old Irish Spring commercials where they showed them whittling the soap. I ain't going to lie. The Dr. Squatch soap, I want to sit on a porch and whittle it. Then I'll clean with it, of course. But it's available at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. And, of course, gift certificates. If you're shopping for a birthday gift or any kind of gift for somebody, they've got you covered there. Stop on by Zia Guns USA here in Roswell, locally owned and operated at 1907 North Main. The only gun store open on Saturdays. Or on Sundays, but closed on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with family, and you should too. Yeah, that's their thing. Saturdays, that's family day. They're not open. But Sunday through Friday, swing on by Zia Guns USA here in Roswell and let them take care of you. That's what they do. And if you have hard to find stuff, if you're like saying, I'm looking for a certain gunner or model, but I'm having a little trouble locating it, talk to the folks at Zia Guns. They're really good at finding things for people like that. And they know how to, I guess they know the right rocks to turn over sometimes to find that kind of stuff. So, hey, for folks that would like to donate blood today, Grace Community Church, Vitalent's hosting a blood drive there at Grace Community Church in the foyer from 10 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. today. Everyone that donates will get a free T-shirt. Call Stephanie this morning, 575-840-8178, see if there's any appointments available. Wear your masks when you do go out there. They generally don't take walk-ins unless they've got open. If they've got openings, and they do quite a bit. So pop on by either way if you didn't get a chance to sign up. But maybe give them a call here this morning, see if you can get an appointment. They may just tell you, come on down. I don't know. But that's happening today. Folks in Artesia, you get a blood drive happening tomorrow, Hotel Artesia. All right, got to get into Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Some of those who witnessed it say it sounded like an explosion. Others liken it to an earthquake. It was around 1:30 this morning. Part of a 12-story condo building came crashing down in Surfside, Florida, near Miami Beach. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett fears a death toll, currently 1, will go much higher.
There's just feet in between stories where there were 10 feet. That is heartbreaking because it doesn't mean to me that we're going to be successful as we would want to be to find people alive.
Search and rescue operations are ongoing with reports of 51 people still unaccounted for. First responders did rescue 35 residents. 10 of them were hurt, with 2 sent to the hospital. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis praising the quick work of the fire rescue crews.
I do think the quick response was very important, and I do think it saved lives. So I want to thank the folks for their bravery in doing that.
And there is no word yet on the cause of that disaster. President Biden to take his vaccination message to North Carolina later today.
Even though the White House acknowledges it won't reach its July 4th vaccination goal, the president's COVID-19 message remains the same. Get vaccinated if you haven't already. Mr. Biden tweets that the Delta variant of the coronavirus is more contagious and deadlier. In Raleigh, North Carolina, he'll visit a mobile vaccination unit and emphasize the importance of getting vaccinated.
That's White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The number of people applying for unemployment dropped last week, falling 7,000 from the week before to 411,000. And a rally underway on Wall Street this morning. The Dow's up 247 points, the Nasdaq ahead 119, and the S&P trading 25 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I have a traumatizing childhood memory of an Easter egg hunt. The big hunt was a big deal in our family, and I have this memory of running and excitedly reaching for eggs, only to have my big brother and sister sweep in and steal them at the last second. It's Ryan, and unfortunately, this is a traumatizing reality our Faith and Family Mortgage team is seeing from families across the country. Families are finding their dream home, only to have it pulled away by another hunter at the last second. At United Faith Mortgage, we unfortunately cannot scare off the other hunters, but we can very quickly get you pre-approved and make it look as good as possible to sellers. And then, once you do grab that Easter egg,
see our story and read how our direct lender advantage can often save your family monthly and lifelong money at UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1335. REC NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A high-profile West Bank critic of the Palestinian government has been killed.
With thousands of followers for his Facebook page, Nizar Banat from Hebron was an outspoken critic of the Palestinian Authority, often directly accusing powerful individuals of corruption. His relatives say his home was raided early this morning and that Mr. Banat was badly beaten by a large group of Palestinian security officers. He was shouting as they took him away. The Hebron governor says his health deteriorated while he was in custody and he died. A post-mortem examination is to be carried out.
And that's the BBC's Yolande Nell. Germany's businesses more optimistic than they have been in close to 3 years, according to a closely watched survey by Munich's IFO Institute. The upbeat mood partly spurred by declining coronavirus infections and the reopening of large parts of the German economy. News and analysis at townhall.com. A pandemic-related measure aimed at protecting renters is about to expire.
The clock is ticking down on the nationwide moratorium on evictions imposed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as emergency pandemic protection. The separate evictions bans for renters and mortgage holders expire next Wednesday, and there are calls from some quarters for extensions. At the White House, Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
The decision to extend the eviction moratorium will be made by the CDC based on public health conditions.
Psaki also added the moratorium was
always intended to be temporary.
This week, dozens of members of Congress wrote to President Biden and CDC Director Rochelle Walensky calling for the ban to be extended and also strengthened. Mike Gracia, Washington.
The Commerce Department reporting the U.S. economy grew at a solid 6.4% annual rate the first 3 months of the year. Again, on Wall Street, the Dow up 242 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I slumber, I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Inviernos. Try to be ready with it.
You know what?
No,
because that's an air horn, right?
Yeah, that's it's classically known online as the hip hop horn.
Yeah. Prior to that hip hop horn, the role of the air horn in our society was at sporting events.
Yes.
There was always that guy going, like, at Washington Capitol hockey games, which I happen to be sporting one of their shirts today.
Name dropper.
You go.
I'll pick that name up for you. Hang on.
When we go to the Caps games, you know that they always do the stuff to get the crowd going.
Right.
And they have a guy named Loud Goat who's like traditionally he has a trumpet. He goes around each section and does the Let's Go. Everyone Let's Go Caps. That's kind of Let's Go Caps. Dun dun dun.
Right.
That's kind of the whole. But he'll do it with a trumpet. But you got your air horners who were back in the day. That was. And then when they got musical with this thing and went down, 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 and like, see, I can play one note.
Yep.
And now it's pop. But prior to that, it was to annoy your friends and at sporting events.
Yeah, to startle the cat.
Yeah. Oh, and the occasional boating accident.
Actually,
I guess that was the original.
I need to walk my statement back. This is technically an hour that was supposed to be devoted to the Humane Society. Don't ever scare your cats like that. That's terrible. Cats' heartbeats are already pretty fast. Don't give your cat a heart attack.
Although I don't think we're going to talk Humane Society today.
I spoke with Crystal. We're not going to speak with her today, but I definitely want to give some love to the Humane Society because they're amazing. They do fantastic work.
But pet aficionados, tune in tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yes.
We're going to have an organization join us here. The name, I got to go over here and look at it. I just don't want to, but really great people. They got a cat rescue event come up this weekend and everything else. And so we're rescuing pets, but tune in tomorrow, 9:15. We're going to talk all about pets.
Have a few hair-raising surprises.
I'll give you a hint.
Go ahead.
I'll give you a hint. Tomorrow, we're going to meet Fidel Castro.
Ooh. I'm positive it's going to be a catastrophe. But again, tune in. Remember, this show has a video element.
I say it will be...
I'm bringing cucumbers.
Ooh, okay. I say it will be...
You're like, no, don't do that.
All right. It doesn't work, by the way.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes. My cats looked at me like I was stupid when I did it.
You know what helps? If you do it, you put the cucumber right behind it, and then you wait behind the door. Air horn.
Oh.
Every time.
If you did that to me, I'd do that. You throw a cucumber and an air horn, I'd do that.
Every time. It's a weird combination, I know. It's like peanut butter and banana. You wouldn't think it would work, but it works magic.
You know what scares people? Blowing off shotguns in stores. Who would have thunk it?
Screaming fire in a theater. Works every time. They run the other way. They're screaming. People are trampling all over each other. Don't do any of the things we're talking about, by the way.
By we mean him.
Yeah. Hey, well, yeah, good point. You said firing off a shotgun in the store. I think I need to cover both our butts.
Mine was more, what's that word we want? Sarcastic.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, mine was just the traditional example. By the way, the views expressed by Mornings with Mike Winters do not reflect those of Pecos Valley Broadcasting and staff or management.
Or Mike Winters, for that matter.
Or Mike Winters, in most cases, yeah.
Actually, talk to me later. Depends. I'm like a little, I'll talk to me in the morning. I'm on your side. Talk to me an hour later. I want to kill you.
It's true.
Just kidding.
I've heard it happen.
It does. But anyway, so this hour, since we're not talking pets today, we're talking littles. We're going to play our interview we had with Amanda Ware from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. She joined us, had a great conversation. We did a little spotlighting, talking about some of the kids' profiles and things and what their likes and what they're into. And I'm sure there's a few people going to hear these and be like, I like that. Oh, yeah, I like doing that, too.
That absolutely helps if you can find somebody you can hang out and just chat about stuff that you're into with.
Yeah, and none of it's hard.
Right.
These kids aren't going, I want to go to the moon. They're just like, I want to go play in the mud.
Yeah.
I want to go
to the splash pad for a little while.
That's what they want to do. And I love, like there was one profile where this kid just wants to go like go do stuff with the guys, go fishing and hunting and do stuff like that. I mean, that's they have the same dreams and aspirations you do, and they do them together. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to play that interview here in just a few.
Very cool.
For you softball, baseball fans, I believe softball, Artesia softball is underway on our sister station right now at 9 o'clock, I think.
I actually think it starts at 10, I believe.
10? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be getting underway very shortly.
Okay, and then they'll go right into baseball. They're up in Albuquerque taking on St. Pius in playoff baseball there. So Gene Dow calling softball.
Yep.
And Scott Galletti will be calling the baseball. That's if we can get him on the air. There's no guarantee. He's going to require the knowledge of Sean and myself. And
so you're doomed.
Yeah. So.
Although collectively, I like to think that we make up one good solid brain.
We could probably put something together.
Here's the problem. We're both left-handed. Thusly, we both think with the right half of our brain. So thusly, we only make up one full right half of a brain.
Only one's in our right mind.
I used to love that joke.
Yeah.
Guess who's in their right minds? It's 8:15. Yeah, I should do time checks.
Chuckle.
Is in the hallway.
Yeah.
Walking. If you do a time check and then shut the door behind you, super effective.
I do it in the bathroom. Like when I'm going. Number 2, of course. And then when someone comes in, I'm just like, 9:12 in the a.m. We'll be back after this. Speaking of 9:12, it is 9:12, and here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, did I update my weather? I don't think I did. Bad, Mike. All right, let's try this again. Currently, there it is. It's still not updating. Currently 80 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the south at 5 miles per hour. We do have a 20% chance at some rain showers. That's going to be mainly for the afternoon, 3-4 o'clock time frame. Mostly sunny. Highs right near 100. They're saying 98. Steve's saying 103. We'll split the uprights and call it an even 100. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for tonight as well. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 72. Otherwise, winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Friday, another sunny and hot day with a high of 103. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Friday night. Expect an overnight low of 71. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, that's where things start getting different a little bit. During the day, not so much. We do have a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny and 94. Winds will be breezy out of the north, 15 to 25. I'm guessing that's blowing in the rain because Saturday night, we are looking at a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 67. A 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs only around 82 expected. Sunday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64. And then Monday, when you head back to work and everything, rain chances continue, cooler temperatures continue, a 70% chance of rain on Monday, mostly cloudy, highs only expected to reach 78. And then Tuesday, 50% chance of rain, 81 for a high. Wednesday, a 40% chance of rain with a high of 86. So cooler temps and moisture on the way. Got to get through a little heat spell here first, or which we're kind of already in the middle of. So push through this and moisture and cooler temperatures. That's me knocking on the way. All right, it is 9:15. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview with Amanda Ware from Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Southeast New Mexico. That's coming up. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
They say you can catch a monkey in the jungles of Africa by using a large gourd. All you have to do is cut a hole in the gourd, allowing enough space for the monkey to get his hand through. Place a few treats inside. Then you tie the gourd onto a tree and wait. What happens is the monkey squeezes its hand into the gourd to retrieve the treat. The monkey tries to pull his hand out, but it won't fit because the monkey refuses to let go of the treat. Then you simply throw a net over the lovable creature and he is yours. Now let me know if you try that and it worked. But isn't this just like us in the world? We want the goodness and the freedom that God offers, but we refuse to let go of the world. Isn't it just like Satan to set out gourds with tasty treats in them for us to grab? So this week, let go of the world and grab a hold of God. You will be glad you did.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning. Fergalicious. From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who are you going to call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit? Fergalicious. Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love. Fergalicious.
Want to make this Father's Day a little cooler? Every Saturday in June, Richland is giving away a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind American flag cooler. Yup, a brand new cooler every Saturday. Just head for either Richland Chevy on West 2nd or Richland Dodge at the Y and register. That's it. No purchase necessary. Just drop in and sign up. Richland wants to celebrate dads all month long, and the coolest way to say
thanks, Daddy,
is with a brand new cooler. So stop in and sign up for a cool way to say
Happy Father's Day
from Richland Motors. Ride for the brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico, Amanda Ware back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. How's summer been so far for you? Have you had a chance to do any summer-like things yet?
No. Just kind of try to stay inside and
she's like, sweat. Yeah, I did that.
Shield myself from the heat that we've been experiencing.
Yeah. So.
It just seems like summer got hotter earlier than usual.
I don't think we had spring.
No, we didn't
went
have
from
any
winter
spring.
to summer in a span of a week. So, but with warmer temperatures means people are getting outside. The world's starting to open up again, which is good news for everybody, but very much so for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. It's been a real struggle for the last year and a half, 2 years here of COVID. Let's face it, Big Brothers prior to COVID was in need of new bigs to come and be a part of this. COVID turned that from a urgent situation to a critical situation. And so now more than ever, we need adults to step up and say, hey, I'd like to spend a little time in some of these kids' lives and be a part of this. And so we're not, I know we come in, every time we talk to you, it's kind of like, come on, we really, no, this time we're at those levels where this could pose impacts on these kids' lives if we don't do something about this. So
Well, some of these children have been waiting on our wait list for quite some time. And then with COVID happening and all the schools shutting down,
your resources to do this dried up. Yeah,
they have been, at home with very little avenues to go out and explore the community. Everything was shut down.
Yeah,
but I think as of July 1, we're supposed to be opening.
Yeah, no, I think is that the magic. I knew it was like we hit the 2-week thing, and I was like, I know we're in that 2-week waiting for everyone to be at the
July. It's something we track.
Yeah,
but yeah, July 1, everything's supposed to be.
Is there a countdown clock somewhere?
Yeah, this is our countdown clock. So, as you may know, our program has 2 different types of categories for bigs. You can be a site or a school-based mentor, meaning you will meet your littles at a specific site.
And generally, the school base, that's for like your high school seniors and things that it's kind of like an after school program or lunch buddy kind of program,
that is
something
correct.
similar to that.
Right. And then we also have a community-based program, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So for our community-based program, if you volunteer as a BIG, of course, we have an extensive screening process. So you have to go through an interview. It's about 2 hours long. And then we do a background check. CYFD runs our fingerprints, so we get the results back within a week or two.
Okay.
And then we do a LexisNexis for driving history and things like that.
I didn't know what that's called. That's kind of LexisNexis.
Well, it's the company that runs our third party.
I feel like it's very Star Trek sounding to me. I feel like Captain Picard's going to come out.
There is an extensive background check.
Okay.
So all of this, once you sign up or once you say that you're interested, someone from the office will contact you and set up your interviews and things like that. Answer any specific questions that you might have. So it could take a month or two before you're completely through the process and ready to be paired with a little.
Yeah, and then in that process, like you said, there's questionnaires. Like the first part, obviously, is the background check stuff. Make sure there's no safety issues there. Once that part's established, you're not done answering questions, but this is for the benefit of the match. This is now think of the dating game. Think of Match.com.
That is correct.
We're trying to learn about you, and then so when we go through our search of littles, we're trying to pair you up with a little that you're going to jive with, you're going to mesh with, you're going to have some connections with.
Not only are the bigs interviewed, the littles and their parents are interviewed as well. So that when we make the match, we try to pair you with interests that common interests, so that you'll have a jumping off point.
Next thing you know, like it could be, and that's the thing. It doesn't have to be like these amazing things. Well, I'm a rock climber, and then I go spelunking in the caverns, and then I go off to European bird watching. No. We don't do all that stuff to try to impress women or men with, when you're picking up a date. We're talking. I know the move. I was going to get a tattoo right here, but stop that. What we're saying is we just want to, hey, if you like, you know what? I'm a science fiction nerd. I love on Star Wars. Well, guess what? We're gonna find a kid that likes that too, and y'all have that common thing or something, or maybe like, you know what? I'm a model railroad enthusiast. All right, we're going to find a kid that loves that kind of stuff too, and maybe you use that as your connection. Or maybe it's like, you know what, I love, or maybe I'm a crafter. I love sewing. I love doing that. Let's find a child that loves doing arts and crafts too. Maybe you can teach them some new ways to do it, and they can teach you some new. I mean, that's what we're talking about here is finding those common links.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have a list here of littles who are on our waiting list.
Okay.
If I can just tell you a little bit about them and what they're looking for in a big.
Exactly. This is great because I think part of the problem in getting bigs is they don't think that they're the right person for it. What do I know about kids, or what do I? And well, now you're going to pardon the pun or pardon the connection here, but you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Right. You're going to hear exactly what they're looking for.
So right here, I have a little boy. He is 10 years old.
Okay.
His name is George, and he is looking for a big that doesn't mind talking about snakes, bugs, and sharks.
All right, we got an animal lover.
He hopes his big would like to play Jenga and go to the zoo to look at snakes.
Okay.
George enjoys playing in a gym, playing outdoor and indoor games. He likes playing Jenga or chess, and he likes to talk about different types of bugs and snakes.
Nice. So
that is what he's looking for.
How often do you find a kid that loves chess? That could be a great little. How Conversations and things happen over a game of chess? I mean, that's pretty cool. So maybe you can talk about snakes while playing chess.
Right. And
that's cool.
And this little boy, he's 8. His name is Nathan. He is looking for a big who doesn't mind playing in mud. Nathan would love a big who could talk to him about the military or is a fireman or policeman.
Oh, wow.
He enjoys building with Legos. He likes music and loves to play Army and play with his cars and remote control helicopter.
All right. That sounds like me as a kid, running around playing Army in the woods, and there's a whole lot of, and I'm, you know what? I'm pretty sure there's quite a few bigs around town that would love to get in the mud puddle with you and play around. And, that's what we're talking about here is you don't have to plan these grandiose things. I'm sure there's a bunch of dudes, and probably mostly dudes because these are two boys here with their interest, are going, okay, play in the mud. Yeah, got that.
Talking about snakes?
Yeah, talking about snakes. Got that. You want to play some chess? Yeah, let's do this. You want to talk about military these are the same things you like.
We also have girls on our wait list.
Yes.
Normally, we have a whole bunch of female volunteers and very few male volunteers.
Males are the
harder to capture.
They're the what's the dodo bird, if you will, out there, the elusive gazelle are out there. But right now, we have over 30 littles on our waiting list. Okay.
Ready to be paired or in the process to be paired.
Okay.
We have less than 10 bigs.
Wow.
Waiting to be paired.
So you can do the math there.
Right. During COVID, we matched what we had as often as we could.
Yeah.
And our avenues to recruit bigs have been very limited over the last year.
And unfortunately, because of the world we lived in this last 2 years, some of these kids have been on the waiting list for years.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. That's it's bad in many levels. One is because, kids are only kids for so long. They grow up so fast. And I know for them it's forever, but you and I know next thing you blink your eye, you're 40. But on top of that, it's got to be rough on the psyche of these kids saying, I got picked in the program and they can't find me a big. I mean, I imagine there's got to be a little bit of just mental playing with their heads a little bit, thinking, well, maybe I'm not worthy of this, and we know all that's not true. It's just everyone's lives are going.
Some of our littles, they sign up as a family. So like if a mom will have 2 or 3 children, we'll sign them up and try to find a big for each of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we find a big for 1 or 2, and then that other,
so that really comes into play there, I'm
waiting
sure.
on the wait list for quite some time.
So eliminate that problem by just signing up. Maybe sign up as maybe a husband and wife, each take a big.
Do family matches.
You can do a couple situations. There's many different, I should say, equations to make the big little matches happen here. I know for the most part you like to pair boys with men and females, women with girls. But, desperate times call for, desperate. So sometimes there's unique situations on some of these things.
There are unique situations.
Yeah.
We can pair like a family, say a husband and a wife, if they want to sign up together and mentor the little as a couple.
Yeah.
We would pair them with the little boy.
Good deal.
Sometimes we can pair little boys that are under the age of 10 with the female big.
Okay.
But that's about the only
generally you like to
matching that we can do.
And really And I don't. We haven't had a chance to do this, so I kind of want to do this every time. You're not playing the role of a parent as a big. The role of a big is you are just that mentor friend person. You're there and each situation's unique. Sometimes these children come from 2-parent homes, single-parent homes, foster system. Sometimes they come from affluent families, not affluent families. Sometimes sometimes it's just a case of parents are there. They just work a lot. They're busy, and they want another influence in their life, someone that can expose their children to some things and stuff that they can't or don't have the ability to do. And that's where big brothers and big sisters. It's there to serve as that mentor to help strengthen the foundation for that kid, regardless of what else is going on in their life.
And actually, that's part of our pairing process. Whenever a big makes it through the screening and we're about to pair them, we do give extensive training to the bigs so that they're not walking into this situation blind. We explain that you're not a parent, you're not a counselor, you're not a piggy bank. It's about quality time, not necessarily what all you can give or provide to the family.
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
creating
quality time with you and the little.
Yeah, you're really creating memories and creating life lessons. I mean, as adults, think about the memories you hold on to from your childhood and I guarantee the ones that really stick out, and it's not the grand trip, it's not the adventure, you know what I mean? It's not that thing. It's going to be that moment. It's like we were sitting around this campfire telling a story, and I remember, it's always those little moments that kind of stick in your brain and just kind of have the bigger impacts on you. And really, when you boil it all down, that's all you're doing with Big Brother. You're creating those memories for these kids. So when they're adults and things, they use this to their own successes and life lessons and become better people. That's and I would also. I'm guessing you probably see a lot of people that are now bigs that were once littles themselves and paying that forward and things. So it's really a great thing to do. So we got some more stories?
Yes, we do. We have some girls on our waiting list.
All right, let's hear some of their
hobbies. We have
hobbies.
little Katie. She's 8. She's looking for a big who is patient and loves to do girl stuff, like going to the store, painting nails, and doing makeovers.
Okay.
As well as outdoor activities like going to the park. She likes dancing, drawing, watching cartoons, and playing with stuffed animals. Now, she loves the water, but she doesn't like to swim.
Okay, so maybe if you got a swimmer out there, maybe this is your connection, and you get them more in the water, and they love the water. Well, let's get you swimming so you can love it more.
And then we have Amber. She's 7. She's looking for a big with a great sense of humor and a big heart.
Okay.
She wants her big to be a good cook and likes to try new foods.
All right. So if you want to experiment with foods, this is your guinea pig.
She enjoys her dog, going out to eat, cooking, and traveling. And she also wants her big sister, who doesn't mind watching her favorite movie, Frozen.
Okay.
More than once.
Well,
And more than once is underlined.
Uh-huh. So basically it's on loop wherever you're
bolded, at. Yes.
So you'll be willing to let it go.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. But if you love cooking, I think you just found your partner in crime cooking there, because sounds like she wants to get a little adventurous cooking. And if you're kind of like, I wanted to, let's just try it together and see where this tastes like, that could be your in right there. I mean, how many families celebrate memories over food? All of us, every single one of us on the planet. I don't care if you're a human being, you've got a food memory or food, and it's all related to family and all of that stuff. So that's cool. All right.
I mean, we have a lot of these stories. Just
all right.
Little kids, they're not looking for anything big or elaborate. Just painting their nails or talking about snakes, or
they just want to live life,
playing in the mud.
Yeah. It's, I think. And I'm learning this in my own life. As we get older, you tend to take for granted being exposed to new things, and and like thinking the first time you ever did this or had this, and it's like, think about it. When's the first time you ever had a hot dog at a baseball game or something like that? And you kind of think back, and it's like, oh wow, and it's and that's, you're just creating those moments and creating that with these kids, and that's all they're looking for. We're not. Like I said, you don't have to. You heard the lists from these kids here, and I want to do another girl here too. But they like the same things you do, guys. I know all of you are like, I like playing Army. I like getting outside and getting in the mud and all that. And girls, I don't care how many times. Y'all love watching that Frozen movie. I've seen it 1,000 times. I've never seen the whole movie, but I don't have to. I just walk into rooms and it's on, and I caught enough of it to know almost the whole story. And I've never sat down and watched the movie. But that's, they like same things. They shopping, go and get your nails done, go and walk in the park. These are the same things you like. You just get to do it with these kids that I think it's going to make it more fun for you too, because now. Because this is what's going to happen. And say you have an affinity for shopping, and then this young girl also has affinity for shopping. Ladies, you're going to turn into like the Yoda of shopping, because now you've got your Padawan. I know I'm getting nerded on y'all with the Star Wars references, but now you've got your protege in shopping, and you're going to be like, all right, girl, we got you covered. You like shoes? Now I'm going to show you how to find shoes, and you're going to love that.
You don't actually have to buy anything.
Exactly.
You can write them down, make a wish list, show them how to budget.
Yeah.
Like teaching life lessons in things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Together.
So you like these shoes, but they're $50 now. We're going to come back next week, and they're going to be on sale.
Right.
And they're $20.
Show them about sales. Show them how to budget. Show them, how to.
Yeah. That's all part
of it. How to plan.
Yeah. And then. It's living life and just kind of hanging out with these folks. So let's do another
one more girl.
All right.
So I have Andrea. She's 9. She is looking for a big who loves fashion, likes to play outside, and who can do cheer activities with.
Okay.
Andrea, has had a little bit of bullying.
Okay.
So she wants a big sister who can talk to her about that and make her feel
more
better about herself, more confident,
opening up,
and just talk about ways to deal with bullying and how to stand up for yourself and gain some self-confidence.
Sure, understand and well, great. And so any cheer dance
she
folks
enjoys
out there?
Cheer, tumbling, playing outside. She loves animals.
Okay.
And anything to do with jumping on a trampoline.
Awesome.
And she wants to be a veterinarian or a doctor when she grows up.
All right. Excellent. So maybe there's a vet or a doc out there that's got some free time and would like to spend an hour a week with this girl and show her the animals and mentor a little bit on just like all children need, navigating life. That's that question she's having with bullying. Every one of us on the planet has had that same thought in our head at some point. Whether I think every single one of us at one point or another in life have experienced a situation where you feel bullied or something like that. And, having that experience yourself, you can use that to help her and how to navigate through that. Because we all have those experiences. We just do. It's part of growing up and part of life. It is. So that's what it is. That's all. I mean, it's not as hard as we build things up to be. It's just really being a human being with these kids. That's what it is. Hanging out, showing a little kindness, a little love, a little compassion, and that little show pays huge dividends in making a difference. And because that's human beings. I mean, you look at you show someone compassion and love, and they're going to run with that. That's just that's how our brains are wired and everything. I don't care where you come from, what your background is, where on earth you were placed on this earth when they put you here. That's the same in everybody. And we can all help each other find that. And with these kids that don't have all the opportunities sometimes just because life happens, this is a great way to give back and to be a part of that. So please, if you're interested, now more than ever, I don't care, men, women, couples, come forth. If you're at least 18 years of age, that's
for
really
a community match. You have to be at least 18 years of age because we do have to do a background check.
Yeah, and then we start the process here. On average, just to give people kind of a ballpark, how many, like from the time they say I want to be a big until the time they're having their first outing with their little. What's on average that ballpark time frame?
Well, it's hard to pin down because it would depend on whether we have a little in the wait list who they pair with that's already ready to be matched, or if we have to recruit a little specifically for that.
But since right now, since there's so many waiting.
There are so many littles that are processed and waiting. Just to process the big between the interview and the background check, it could take 60 to 90 days.
Okay, so about 2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months
from time, so that's pretty quick.
How fast we can get the interview done and the background check, and and we do take 3 references, and all references have to be called.
Okay,
and if you're in a committed relationship, we do have to have some kind of a spousal or partner.
Anybody that has potential to be around this child, you want to make sure that they're all above board here.
So, I mean, as long as your references get back to us, and everything.
And I imagine COVID, all that took a little longer because everything took longer in COVID. So, but I imagine now they're getting back to it. That process is speeding up here. But please, if you're listening here and you're thinking, this is maybe you're a couple that maybe can't have kids, or maybe you've been trying to adopt, and you just have let's do a big thing and let's I'm not saying change your goals of adopting and all that, but this will give you some training and some help in the meantime while you're going through that process. And
once you're paired, you're not left alone because we have what we call match support specialists. These are all, they have to have a minimum of a bachelor degree or higher in social services or a related field. So once you're matched, this match support specialist will contact you once a month to make sure you're okay, that you don't have any questions about your match. Or you can contact them at any time. Like, say you're in a match and you're not used to children, or you haven't dealt with a lot of children in that age bracket or whatnot. You can contact that match support specialist, and they can give you pointers or tips or resource material
kind of help you peel back the
support
curtain
that match and make sure that ice breaking tips
Sure.
or how to build rapport with them or talk to them on their level if you're unsure.
Yeah, and
you're somebody's going to be there with you the whole life of the match.
Absolutely. You're not going to, they don't leave you on the island here.
Right.
And it makes sense. Obviously, if you don't have a lot of experience spending time around a child of that age group and things, you may, their brain waves aren't the same as an adult brain waves. And if you don't have experience making those two connect, then they're going to help you with all that, and I get it. Some people, some people, it's natural, some it isn't, and you guys are helping every one of those, from the ones that take it to a duct of water to the ones that are like, all right, what does it eat? That's what's kind of quick. Do I got to do anything like let it out or something? Those kind of people.
That reminds me, when I was about 18 years old, I babysat my nieces. I went over to my aunt's house, and they lived in an apartment with the pool. And after I was there about an hour, they're all, can we go to the pool? I'm like, sure, let's go down to the pool. I just took a towel, and they wanted drinks and they were hungry and it was hot. I didn't bring sunscreen. And I remember my little niece, she was about 5. She looked at me, she says, you're not used to kids, are you?
No,
I'm not.
That's why the parents got all the bags. Is to keep everything they need in it.
I was down there with 2 little kids in a towel. I don't know what I was thinking.
You're hot, get in the pool. That's what the whole point.
Our match support specialist will walk you through these things. Help you plan outings, help you connect with the parents, and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Bigs get rules in the match, and so do the parents in the match.
Sure.
So, like if you show up to pick up your little for a community outing, they've gone through training as well. They'll know that have the little ready on time with the things that they might need for whatever activity
everybody's
you're doing.
Kind of well versed in what their role is to help this kid and get.
And then
through.
we have that match support specialist, supporting that match and helping both parties in the match. Make that long and strong.
Please understand, this is not a parent replacement program or anything remotely like that. It's in partner with.
We specifically train the bigs and the littles and their parents that the big is not there as a parent replacement. Is not there to discipline or
strictly mentor.
The big is not to be used as discipline, for the little. Like if you don't behave you're not
yourself,
or
you don't get to see your big.
Right.
You don't want to use that.
These things are not really allowed in our matches, and we try to
enforce
keep
that
them strong.
Yeah. Well, because at the end of the day, it's an amazing, fun experience for the kid.
Yeah.
But it'd be like saying, my kid loves school, therefore he got in trouble. You're not going to school today. I mean, think of it in that same vein. This is in that. Yes, it's fun. It's an amazing, but at the end of the day, this program is put together to strengthen the foundation for this kid. So when this child is an adult, they've got as many tools in their tool bag to navigate life as an adult, and that's really the big end game here is to give them prepared to become adults and productive people in society. So, and they do it through love and fun and happiness and mentorship. That's what Big Brothers Big Sister is. So that's it's not
what we're all about.
Yeah, it's not a secret recipe or anything. It's just hey, we're making a pie here. We just want to make sure we got good quality ingredients going in, and we're helping the parents put the ingredients in just like they're putting the ingredients in, and we're just helping make the pie at the end of the day. That's if you want to kind of look at it. That's what we're doing. We're just making great people. So, all right. Now that we got them reeled in, how do they get a hold of you?
Do you want to say our website address?
Yes, I can do that.
Stumble over it.
I can do that. I'll let you handle the number. I got the website, but you can start learning more, researching. Obviously, Big Brothers Big Sisters is an international organization, so there's lots of stuff online. But if you want to learn more about local and what's going on here, you'll go to the Big Brothers and Big Sisters website for Southeast New Mexico. You can Google Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Roswell, Chaves County, Southeast New Mexico. Any of those will get you there. But if you want to go direct, it's www. Do that part, or you don't have to in these days and age of internet browsing. Just go to bbbsenm.org. It's the initials for Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico. So it's bbbsenm.org. You're probably not going to remember that if you're driving. That's why I said just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters when
3
you get
B's, 2 S's.
Yes. They also have a Facebook page. You can do a search for Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico. You want to put in the Southeast New Mexico, otherwise you're going to get every Big Brothers Big Sister, which you're more than welcome to peruse and check out. But if you've got a limited amount of time and you're trying to narrow your information search, add the Big Brothers Big Sisters. And that way you can learn more about the matches, the programs, and everything else. And then, of course, you can always call the office there and say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to sit down and talk to someone. Or, you know what, I've been reading. I'm ready. Let's start the process. And then she'll make an appointment and get the application process going and the background checks going and the questionnaires going and all the things that has to happen to get you to that point where you and your little are out at the park or at the restaurant or whatever your activities.
Talking about snakes.
Yeah, talking about snakes or getting in the mud.
Our phone number is 575-627-2227.
Yes, which is BBBS if I remember right.
BBBS.
So if you're good at remembering phone numbers that way, it's BBB at Big Brothers.
I don't think anybody remembers phone numbers that way anymore.
Not anymore.
I think it went away with the push dial.
I think, yeah. Well, I think when everyone went online to do things, because I think before, like if you want to order garbage off TV, and what I mean is like the Roncos and all that stuff. You know, back in the day before the internet, you had to call the numbers. No, it's call now 1-800 our stuff stinks or whatever it is, and that's our stuff stinks. And so that's how you remember. But now everyone goes online, so there's no need for the names to remember numbers. I don't think so. That's my theory. I have no idea if it's right, but it sounds good, so I'm going to just go with that.
And I think, from here on out, I will bring a list of littles that are waiting and what they're looking for. It's really not elaborate. It's just, they want to cook or they want to watch Frozen or...
They want the same things everybody else wants. They just want to connect and have fun and get to experience the just cool entities of life.
I remember when I first started working, and I've been with Big Brothers Big Sisters for about 12 years.
Oh, wow.
But when I first started doing interviews, I was training, so I had, if I had to fill in, I could. This little boy who I was interviewing, he wanted very, very simple things. He wanted to play in the mud. He just wanted somebody to take him outside because he lived with his grandma. And he said, I just want to go outside and be a real kid.
Yeah. Don't feel like he's got
I just want to be a real kid. And I mean, it's still just
sat
that
with
little phrase sat with me all these years. They just want to play and they want to learn and they want someone to share that experience with them.
It puts your own life into perspective. I'm telling you, all the bigs that get involved, I guarantee they probably take more out than they think they're, you know what I'm saying? They give a ton, but at the end of the day, you probably take away more than you give. It just feels that way sometimes. Just because it reminds you of your own blessings, and it also reinforces the ethics and things in your life that made you stand, because you forget sometimes. Like these, and then when you're working with the child, you're like, oh yeah, this is why we do this, so we so many years of doing it, you take for granted, and now it's like, oh yeah. Brings you back to the time you were learning these lessons and understanding those moments. It's like, that's why we do it this way, and that's it's life growing up. That's what it is. So Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico, www.bbbsenm.org. Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico. Go on or call the phone number. The office is there on 2nd, but we're still in COVID world. Probably call ahead and first before you pop in. I know back in the day, you say, yeah, come on by. They usually got cookies and everything else, but not so much right now with the COVID. But that's coming soon.
Well, we're waiting for July 1.
That's right. July 2. Come out for cookies.
Come out for cookies.
That's right. Might not be a bad idea there. So. Awesome. Is there anything we forgot to mention, or we get it all there, Amanda?
I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get to work. I'm sure you got a stack of papers ready and waiting for you to start sort of sifting through and take care of. So thanks for visiting as always, and we'll see you next time. All right?
Thank you.
Take care.
Hazardous perfluoroalkyl and perfluoroalkyl substances. Legislative analysts say New Mexico is the only top oil-producing state to have recovered to pre-pandemic levels of production. But at the same time, they warned Wednesday the market remains volatile. Staff members with the Legislative Finance Committee suggested the panel of lawmakers take care not to grow the state's budget based on current forecasts that suggest more favorable revenues from the oil and gas industry over the short term. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There's no written constitutional remedy for an audit that would change an outcome of an election. It doesn't exist. For something to actually be done, you need either one or two things to happen, both of which I don't see happening. One, you'd need legislatively Congress to act and a president to sign a bill. That's never going to happen. Then secondly, you're going to need a court like the Supreme Court to take it up. Sorry to say, but the John Roberts Court is deeply politicized, and there's no way in hell do I see any scenario under which that happens. Now, maybe some of you are mad that I'm telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth.
Check out the Sean Hannity Radio Show later today, right here.
Hey, remember the saying, if you love something, set it free? Now, if it doesn't come back, it was never yours to begin with. Well, when it comes to your identity, our friends at LifeLock, they're kind of calling BS because all those nights working overtime, saving all that money, paying off all that debt, and now some identity thief wants to try and set it free. They say that's crazy talk, and we agree. Now, that's why LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your information. They will alert you to potential identity threats. If you're a victim, you'll get a dedicated U.S.-based specialist that will help fix it for you. No one can prevent all identity theft, monitor every transaction of every single business. But when identity thieves try to take what is yours, don't take it lying down. LifeLock sees the threats you miss on your own. And today you save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity to save that 25%. That's LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The heat gets turned up on us for the next couple of days. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be sunny and hot. Afternoon highs about 103. For tonight, an isolated evening shower and then partly cloudy with low 70s. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with our high in the low 100s. Maybe a shower or two over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street's benchmarks moved higher at mid-morning with the S&P and the NASDAQ setting fresh record highs in intraday trading, the Dow up close to 1%. The number of Americans applying for unemployment fell last week, a sign that the job market is improving.
The Labor Department says jobless claims declined just 7,000 from the previous week to 411,000. The number of weekly applications for unemployment aid has fallen steadily this year from about 900,000 in January. The level of unemployment claims generally reflects the pace of layoffs.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The U.S. economy grew at a solid 6.4% rate in the first 3 months of the year. It sets the stage for what economists are forecasting could be a very strong year for the economy, with robust consumer spending leading the way. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Well, the geraniums were a little slow at getting started this year, but now they're ready to go. Hi, this is Jim Gill with a lesson in delayed gratification. At Roswell Seed Company, we grow our own geraniums, and that old polar vortex sure slowed them down. But now they may be the sturdiest, most colorful geraniums you've ever put in the ground, so come get yours today. Kind of like your neighbor's son who's still living in the basement. Late bloomers can be the brightest of them all. Or maybe not. Have you seen that kid?
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803. So we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests, and they offer answers and solutions when you need them most. Protect your home, your children, and your pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Let Bob Reed Pest Control and their fully licensed professionals start working for you and your family today. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeastern New Mexico. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
I wonder if that study just did right-handed people. You know, like are lefties, people that are lefties, do they wear out the left foot first because they lead with the left foot more than, or kick like, you know, now that I think about it, when I kick a ball, I kick with my right foot. I just thought of that. I wonder if that, see, in sports, I'm a little good, because I'm a lefty. I'm a left-handed. But left-handed people don't get taught how to do everything in the world like left-handed people. So certain aspects of my life, I don't do like a left-handed person. My mother was right. Well, my father was left, and my brother's left. My wife is left-handed. I'm left-handed. But like I write, I eat, I do most of those things as a left-handed person, and I'm left-handed by nature. But and in certain sports, I do things very much as a lefty, and then I do other things as a right-handed. Like for baseball or football, or anytime I'm throwing a ball, I throw with my left hand. If I'm doing baseball, I catch with my right. But baseball, I bet and do everything as a lefty. Hockey, and I guess soccer, I just was sitting there thinking, like, if I go run up to kick a soccer ball, I'm kicking it with my right foot. I don't know if that's how lefties do it. I have to go. Now I got to watch like football kickers and stuff and see which one they're kicking with. But I kick right, so I'm guessing I kick like a righty. That'd be my natural reaction there. And hockey, if I play goaltender, I play as a left-handed person because of my catch glove is my right hand, and so I hold the stick in my left hand as a goalie. But if I'm playing like a defenseman or out in the field there or on the rink, I play as a right-handed person. I hold the stick so that I shoot from the right side. I don't shoot from the left. That's my backhand. But a left-handed person would shoot from that way, and I don't know, because the power hand that you use to shoot with, a lot of it's in that lower hand. That's where that lower power comes from, and especially if you're doing wrist shots or you're more of the strength is required on that right hand if you're shooting right-handed, and vice versa, lefty. So in theory, I should the other way, but I don't. But I'm left-eye dominant. So when it comes to shooting sports, I do everything left-handed because I am left-eye dominant. So, but I'm a little but scissors, I can't use left-handed scissors. I mean, I can if I use my left hand, but it's not natural to me. I use right-handed scissors because that's just how I was taught, and that's what come for. They had a couple pairs like in school of scissors for lefties, but I didn't know how to use them because I kept trying to use my right hand with them. So it's a struggle us lefties have to deal with in this world. We're in a right-handed world, and everyone tries. I mean, at least it's not like back in way in the olden times where it was a sign of the devil or something if you're left-handed. So they try to teach you everything right-handed, and took you a while to learn how to write and everything else because it wasn't natural to you. But they've changed that, thank goodness. But still, we live in a right-handed world. All right, if you missed any part of our show today, I invite you to go back and check it out, ksvptv.com. Just log into the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find everything you need there. And, of course, tune in. tomorrow morning, we'll have a brand new show for you for your Friday edition of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow morning. Take care.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5